Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello.
and Sean Bell's not here today. He's off. I don't know if you've heard. I mean, he's only mentioned it every other, 20 minutes or so to everyone he knows. He's turned 40 today. So happy birthday, Sean. Congratulations on turning the big 4-0. So in his place, what better replacement than Ian Lee, our regular guest? Are you a regular guest yet?
I haven't been on this for over a year.
Has it really been that long?
It's not been over a year.
It's been over a year. Yeah. So not that regular.
No.
It felt like that intro kind of ran out of steam a bit there, Dave. You built pace, and then you just sort of perhaps realised you made a terrible mistake.
I didn't ask you to criticise me and review. I didn't. You're supposed to be a guest. You're supposed to.
And
be...
he's an award-winning broadcaster, so that's.
You may be able to see some of them on the mantelpiece, just some.
We have spent the last 10 minutes waiting for him to sort his audio out, though. So I don't.
That is correct. I'm a maverick. I'm a genius maverick. I'm dangerous. It's great to be on the show. I'd love to wish Sean Bell a happy birthday. He's turned 40. For me, I feel like he's always been 40, and he always will be 40. I love that man.
He does
I love
seem
him
like
more
one
than
of those
life.
people that was born an old man, right?
Yeah.
You can't imagine him as a little bit like James Farley, but James Farley's got a little baby face. So
James Farley
that
actually is
sort of
old.
helps.
But you're all babies, because I'm older. I'm 52 in a couple of months, and you're talking about, oh yeah, fucking, I'm 33 and I'm 37 and I'm fucking past it and all that. Shut up, man. You're babies. You're babies. Yes, I have the best hair out of all four of you. You are babies.
Come on, man.
You are babies.
Let's not. I mean, yeah, it's good hair. For starters,
hair.
3 of them aren't even in the game, so that's a little bit out of order.
That's I've been trying harder with that. It's like it's not
What do you
that
mean?
bad.
What are you trying on? Are you growing it?
I have been growing it, and Chen cut it the other weekend, and I think she did a pretty good job.
Did you keep the cuttings just in case you need to stick them back on at some point?
Sadly, no. It's they went straight in the bin.
My dad has started putting this oil on his head that he's heard helps your hair grow. And every time he sees me, he goes, look, see, it's working. And it's the same bald head every time. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. Am I supposed to go, oh, yeah.
Is he just trolling you, though? Or is it like,
No, he's not got it in him to troll me. I don't think he understands the concept.
Yeah, that sounds embarrassing, David. But just so I'm aware, what is the name of that oil? Just so I can avoid it, I think. what product does he?
I'll find out. I'll ask him.
I don't really want to know, but just.
We would like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks Strap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Heaton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. What a lovely little crowd they are. There we go. There's the bell. TCGS.com. No, it isn't. It's patreon.com/TCGS.
Gosh.
If you'd like to support the show. We did our bonus show last week, didn't we, Matt? Where we ranted about the Severance finale.
Yeah.
You jumped to conclusions there, and it was quite sad to see. I'm your friend for a long time. And one thing you'll know about me is that I'm surprising with my opinions. So don't try and
constantly keeping us on edge.
What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for over there?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're famously pretty predictable when it comes to this sort of thing. It's yeah.
No, I don't think I am actually. I think you think I'm predictable, but actually it is you the one that's predictable, James.
I predicted you were going to say that.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. TCGS. Oh no, patreon.com/TCGS.
I wouldn't
What is
bother.
the matter with me this week? I'm not. Oh, come on. It was a good one, wasn't it?
David has promised that if people don't subscribe to Patreon, they will close this thing down. You have the power, listener.
We can't make that joke anymore. We've got a few things to talk about before we get to your feedback from last week's show. Firstly, the big reveal last week that there is a new Calls series coming based around
It's not
Grange
Calls.
Hill.
It's not calls.
Right,
Sounds
okay,
like,
so
cool.
you're
sounds like one to me, mate.
You're
Sounds like a cool
changing
series to me.
your mind now to try and get out of a lawsuit. Is that how this is working?
No. Okay, there's no lawsuit here because I co-own that, if anything. Because,
Fuck off. What
there's
did you
no way-
do to co-own that?
Are you joking? We did all of those together. There's a 50-50 split on all of that stuff.
Who come up with the concept?
What do you mean?
Of
This comes
making
up with
together.
the concept of watching television, then talking about it over a phone call. Oh, that's going to be a tough one to prove in a
Yeah.
court of law, Dave. A very tough
Have you
one.
got a
with video
patent?
game to start with. Who came up with the concept, James? You had nothing. You just went, "What do you want me to do?" And I told you, and then you
No, I
didn't
don't think
do
that's
it.
true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I think we discussed it. We talked about, what would be interesting, and you were like, "Oh yeah, we can like do it over Skype as everyone does," and then you were just like, "Oh, we'll call it calls." It's like,
That was what I bought.
we'll
to
call
the
it
table, was
calls.
to do it on Skype and call it calls.
We'll call it
Is
calls.
this a plan? Did you plan to announce this way, or has this been taken out of your hands at this point?
This basically, right, it started off as a little bit of fun and a joke, and then me and James talked about it and went, "Oh, actually, I think there's something in that," right? So on the show I do with Catherine, every week we watch an episode of El Dorado and we watch it and then we talk about it and blah. And so James jokingly said, "Oh, you and I should do that with Grange Hill." And I went, "Yeah." And then I looked, and the first 2 seasons are on YouTube. There may be the rest might, but the first 2 are on there. So you've got 40 episodes. And so we have decided we are going to do something that the work in progress name is Grange Hill Phone Chats. But James,
Oh,
James,
clever.
I tasked you with coming up with some new titles for it. Did you manage to do that this week?
yeah, I've got some, and I mean, I'll be honest, these are all generated, but some of them are quite good. So it's
Right,
like,
are you ready for this, Ian? Are you ready for this? The one thing that he puts,
I
he's
am.
just put it into Chat GPT. This is what you're going to have to work with.
yeah, but it's come up with some crackers.
Let's
It's
go.
come up with some good ones. I mean, we've got Just Say No, a Grange Hill podcast. It's not too bad.
I mean, I'm going to stop with that. It's not great for marketing, is it? Just saying.
Well, okay. What about the sausage on the fork?
I like it.
I want to call it Beniout Bound Bound, but I don't know how you spell
How
it.
do you spell I was going to say spelling might be an issue, but okay.
We got that.
A spoonful of gripper.
Please send your feedback into our email address gmail.org.
The Zamo effect. The Zamo effect.
That was pretty good. We got Roland with like an exclamation mark. A Grange Hill rewatch. Thought that was pretty good.
Gonch's get rich quick scheme. Guys,
yeah.
rolls off the tongue a little
Right.
bit. You boy.
Yeah.
I mean, you boys, all right?
McCluskey's office. It's.
This is just character names, though. This isn't like a pun or a
Yeah,
No.
I know you hate that.
It's just
No.
character names.
McCluskey's office is because it's like it says here where all the troublemakers and podcasters end up. You see.
Yeah.
It's,
What,
So
is that
that-
part
that-
of the title?
this is
McCluskey's-
McCluskey's office.
McCluskey's office is a name and a place. So that's 2 things. Here's the thing, right? It started off as a joke. It's actually going to happen. I really think, first of all, I think you and the old one treat James Farley like shit on this podcast, right? And he is the talent, the glue that holds this together. Don't drink too much, please, James. I'm worried. And I want to adore him. I want to worship him. I want to have. I don't know if you guys watch Married at First Sight Australia. Well, I want James and I to have an intimacy week, and I want him to come and do a podcast where it'll be equal and it'll be fun, and he won't be belittled all of the time.
Right, good.
And-
That's what I wanted at the start.
Yeah, we've all
And then
wanted that for years
The more
now.
you work with him, the more you. I cannot wait until episode 4 of that cat Zimo calls or whatever you can.
No,
Phone chats.
It may be Where's My Sausage. That's
Phone chats.
I'm
Sausage on
erring
the
on that.
fork.
Where's my sausage? We can have a fun AI generated image of you and me on a sausage.
yeah.
Cannot wait
On the
for
fork,
episode
flying
3
through,
of that when you've genuinely lost your shit with James because it's been 4 weeks and he still hasn't watched the episode that he was supposed to watch. Remember
That
James?
is outrageous. We watched so much stuff like with Marvel calls. We were doing 2 a week at one point.
Do you remember after Infinity War? Is that
Yeah.
the one? The Infinity War. I said, I've just finished Infinity War, and you went, I don't really fancy it this weekend. Can we do it next week? And I'm like, no, we need to do it now. You
I don't remember that.
though?
I don't
No,
remember
you
that,
didn't.
no.
Fucking it. We listened to the first 10 minutes of that pod. It's
Yeah,
me
but the
having
thing
you
is
go
with-
at you about it.
But the thing is with Grange Hill is it's great because they're short episodes, like 20 minutes or so. which is pretty good. And I mean, you could even do 2 a week or something like that. I mean,
Totally
then you're down
up for
to
that.
So you want to record 3 podcasts a week, James?
Well,
well, maybe 2, and
yeah,
then
we'll talk about that.
and then you'll be on like 20 weeks, and you've sorted out 2 seasons.
You're thinking
It's
about
pretty good.
leaving here?
You're thinking about cutting down your TCGS duties a bit,
Oh,
just to
mate, that'd be
focus
great.
on Grange Hill sausage on a fork
Wouldn't it be
phone
great?
chats.
Wouldn't it be great
What
if
was
he
that,
left
Matt? Let
to
me
do
write that down. That was good.
Wouldn't it be great if he left to do that? Ian gets sick of him after 3 shows, and that's it. He's sitting there going,
Penniless.
Can I come back? Can I come back? Absolutely not.
Look, there's loads of trivia connected with Grange Hill. There's
You're
there's
just ploughing through. You're not addressing anything I'm saying. You're just
No,
saying,
he's ignoring it, David. He's-
hey, wouldn't it be funny if you fuck up, James? There'd be lots of trivia involved in the show.
I'll record 7 podcasts a week, I guess.
yeah, 1 a day, be all right.
We also have a bit of an announcement. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, well done.
Little side project.
Patreon.com/sausage on a fork phone calls with Zamo. Patreon.com/sausage on a fork phone calls with Zamo. Sign up, get early access to the first 5 episodes.
There's also bonus Shaw Tucker's Law.
You're not going to make 5 episodes, Ian. I'm sorry to break it to you. He'll run out of steam and then moan about the fucking pod. Anyway, then you'll have to edit out all his farts. That's the worst.
Yeah.
part
Also,
of working
also, he goes on holiday like 3 weeks out of every 4. So what's going to happen there?
We need to talk about that, actually. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
What's the annual leave looking like over there on your side of the?
We've also got a bit of an announcement. Next week, Sunday, we're not going to do anything Sunday, but on next week's pod celebrates our 9th birthday. TCGS has been going on for 9 years now. Can you believe it? And
Absolutely
next
can.
week we're celebrating that with a well, it must feel only like a few weeks for you, James. The amount you
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. James on his 6th birthday.
We're doing.
Let's have a look at the statistics for this year. It's been pretty good.
You are the lowest out of the lot of us for this year, again, James.
Because I had like 2 off. I've had like 2 off the entire year. What are we in March? That's not good.
It's April tomorrow. We can.
Okay. We are doing a listeners' messages special. So next week's episode of TCGS, get your messages in at. Sorry, bear with me. Go on.
What's the address? I want to get a message in.
Oh, David is.
Are we? Is this part of the
No.
podcast?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this in. I'm keeping us all in. This is the best bit, actually. Yeah, so listener messages special next week. I mean, I think we could maybe break the 5-hour mark.
No, Matt, you're cutting that out. I fucking hate it when you do that.
Obviously,
it's
I
the
wasn't
worst
gonna keep
thing
it
when you
in.
leave that in. Cut that out.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously going. There's loads of silence. What am I going to keep that in?
Where do I
You've
send
done
it?
that before.
Yeah, when we're chatting about some random track you're trying to find back in the 90s.
Oh, that was good, that bit. I enjoyed that bit.
I know,
Dreadful,
Ian.
that bit. Hated it. Right, okay, ready? Next week marks our 9th birthday, and we're doing a special listeners' messages show. So please send your messages in. What's the feedback form, Matt? Where do they go?
tcgs.co/dear-tcgs.
Send your messages in. It's just messages from you, our listeners, to celebrate our 9th birthday next week. Not as
Well,
much as
it's
40.
This week. It's Sunday, isn't it?
Well, it is Sunday, but we're recording on Monday night as usual, right?
Yep.
Don't have a go at me because
I'm just saying the birthday is this week.
Yeah, right. Okay, but we've never done anything on our actual birthday, have we? Because we've forgotten it usually.
How
But
Yeah, we are
quickly
rubbish.
do those messages get to you? Because I've literally just sent one, which I really hope gets read out.
Pretty much instantly.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
pretty instantly.
Okay, well, I just
What,
sent
you
one,
want me
which
to read that out now, do you?
Well, I don't want special treatment.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
I've got a message here, but maybe we'll.
tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Get your messages in. We're doing a listeners' feedback special for next week. Right, Matt, should we get to the feedback from last week's show? Quarter of an hour into this one.
Yes, Reginald Ronson. We're going to start with their message. Listening to the most recent pod where you all discussed Steam being on the next Xbox and PlayStation, potentially pulling games from the Steam storefront. I think if it ever did happen, then Xbox.
I thought that was going to be the end of it then.
No, sorry, I wasn't
I've
sure
just
if like
listened to this bit of the show.
pulling games meant like taking games from there and putting them on Xbox, or actually removing them from the Steam storefront. But I think it's.
I'll
I think
stop
it's
you
the
there,
first one.
Matt. We just had a message from Ian at ianlee.com, and it says, my message is Dave is a cunt. So
It works though. The system works. Great.
Yeah,
It works, yeah. It really does work a bit too well, actually. Anyway, Reginald continues. I think if it ever did happen and Xbox put Steam on their console, Sony wouldn't remove their games, mainly because Microsoft would receive no money from the sale of those games. It would be Steam who still get their cut, as surely the console would just be hosting the storefront. Therefore, Sony's arrangement with Steam hasn't changed, and to be honest, this is why I'm confused about Xbox even thinking about offering Steam as a possibility on their consoles. Surely all that does is lose them store sales and doesn't increase their Game Pass revenue.
Well, presumably they'll take a cut of each sale on Steam through their system, right?
That's
So-
never going to happen. Like, there's no way Valve are going to let that happen. Like,
So then why would Microsoft have Steam on the Xbox then in the first place?
I've no idea. But Microsoft are a weird company that do weird things.
There is no way that that Valve would say, here's a percentage just because you're hosting it. It would just be more the fact that they're like, hey, it's not about what you play, it's about it's about the fact the games are everywhere. That's what they're like thinking about it would be. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter.
No, hold on. Microsoft are not saying, it's not about what you're playing, it's that games are everywhere. What does that mean?
Well, yeah, it's isn't about like wherever your games are, you can play on Xbox because everything is an Xbox.
It sounds like you've misheard a marketing spiel there, Matt, and you're just winging it at the moment.
Well,
Wherever
I
your
like-
games are, what is that? I've never heard anyone from Microsoft like that.
Microsoft's all about the fact you can play games anywhere, right? So that would be their idea about why they might want Steam on their console. I mean, it doesn't seem likely anyway, but
No, but their thing about wanting to play it everywhere, they want you to play the Microsoft games everywhere. It's not like they're like, just play games anywhere, don't matter about it, go on.
well, it feels
That's
like
what
you're
they're
arguing
saying.
against your thing from last
like,
week.
Xbox, play on the fucking Switch if you want, who gives a shit? Like, I don't that's not the message they're putting out there. They still need to be a successful company, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Steam will go on Xbox. I mean, I think that was like from the news story from last week, but
It was,
why would Valve even like bother, really?
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as Sony just going, it's fine. I think what they want to do is limit how many Xbox are being sold in the first place. Microsoft is going to still be selling the boxes, and to be able to play the latest Spider-Man game on that is pretty fucking mad in my opinion. But there you go. Okay.
Alex79 UK, or sorry, just Alex79, he dropped the UK. Hello lads, and more specifically James, who wondered what I thought of Memento. I fucking love Memento the first time I saw it from Alex. There you go, James.
Let's say the second time, presumably.
Possibly, yeah. Not mentioned. We've
Where
got
do you
a whole.
sit with Memento, Ian?
It's a good film, isn't it? It's all backwards. He's got this shit written on his arm and a mirror and stuff, and he goes backwards.
That's it. Yeah.
It's like Commode. It's like having Commode on the pod.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What?
Nothing.
What is mode? Mode?
Commode.
Commode.
Oh,
Commode.
I thought you were talking about some technical film. I'm just having mode. I've just activated mode. Commode. Yeah, well, I've seen plenty of films. Ask me about any film, and I'll tell you about it. Definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
we might do that.
Big Mama's
throughout
House.
Big Mama's House. Yes, very popular. Straight to DVD for a lot of places. Didn't get screened a lot. It's got the fella dressed up as a woman, isn't it?
Yeah. He really has got knowledge of every movie.
He's just reading it from Wikipedia. He's just reading it from Wikipedia.
Of course, I can go a little bit further. My personal favourite, though, Matt, is Big Mama's House 2, which is the sequel. Yeah. It's the sequel to the first one.
Difficult second movie.
Is there a lot of time with those and The Nutty Professor?
The Nutty Professor 2, White Chicks. There's a whole genre of films that very quickly went to DVD. And, yeah.
Okay, we've got a whole load of feedback about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I've spaced out cleverly in this feedback section. We're going to start with Bilbo Baggins. After listening to the food talk in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the best thing to do is to feed your honey. You can take it from hives in the world, and it doesn't count as stealing for some reason. There are some just south of the first town. It never goes bad. It's super nutritious. I basically played the entire game just stuffing honey in my gob every day.
So we need the poo.
You would end up shitting yourself if you did that in real life. I tried this game, and Dave knows I tried this, and I got sent it, and I was very, very excited to play it. I thought, right, a big game I'm going to really sink my teeth into. but I didn't get more than an hour into it because the guy who I was like a servant to spoke to me. Spoke to me like an absolute fucking piece of shit. He's there calling me an S, and he's laughing at me, and I kept choosing the serious option. Choose the serious. Then he's calling me a C, and I went, I'm not fucking playing this, and I switched it off. I was furious.
This is why I had no problem with this, because I'm kind of used to it. So
Right.
it's just water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
You know, when that sort of thing happens.
It
so you
really
just,
fucked me off. I thought, what?
are
How
you talking
dare
about?
you speak to me like that? I turned it
Yeah.
off. I wasn't enjoying it at all.
Well, James, you get upset when a superior talks down to you like that. Makes you look like an idiot. Is that what
Superior?
yeah.
Who's that then?
Hans.
Oh, Hans.
Hans
You mean
Capon, yeah.
No, I don't get
Does
upset.
it
That's the whole
remind you
point.
of our relationship?
No, not really. No,
No?
no, because I mean, obviously you're not my superior, so you know I don't have that
I
feeling.
don't know, mate. You look at my body of work. Pretty superior,
what a
in
sigma.
my opinion. Next.
Okay, S&W. After hearing Sean's experience with Wonderstop, I wanted to share my own. I agree with Sean, the game is clunky and slow, inventory management is bad, and planting can be fiddly. But I do love Burrow, though. Unlike Sean,
the
however,
football
I
club?
did... So what?
The football club.
Yeah, he's a massive Teessider. Unlike Sean, however, I did click with the game. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me, but I do love popping back to the tea shop every evening to relax and work through the story. The characters, though mostly cameos, have been very memorable for me, and I really look forward to meeting the new ones with each season. Many of my favourite mechanics from farming/management teams are missing. I wanted a chest for endless supplies, achievements for hard tasks, and expanding automation, but the game resists these. The gameplay choices seem purposeful to match the narrative, and the themes of Burnout have really resonated with me, making me reflect a lot on parts of my own life. Overall, I'm having a great reflective time with it, and I don't want it to end. Hope it clicks for others in the same way. Cheers from SNW.
An alternative opinion then of a video game that Sean didn't get on with. Let's
Love that. Thank you for that. Alex79. All right, lads. I recently enjoyed the Kingdom Come 2 chat over the last couple of months to the point where I ended up buying the first game for Switch. I know what you're thinking, but after a few patches, this is another one of those miracle Switch ports. And given I don't have the opportunity to play on my big consoles these days, handheld is my go-to way of playing games at the moment. Sure, there's a bit of a graphical downgrade, but it runs fine and generally looks incredible at times. I don't know if it's common to everyone, but there's a handful of games over the years where I've become truly, truly immersed. Red Dead Redemption 2 was probably the most recent, but it reaches a level that almost transcends a video game, and I truly feel like I'm stepping into a world as reality fades around me. I'm really there. Honestly, that's what it feels like. I'm only about 25 hours into the first game, but it has been one of the most incredible game experiences I can remember. I suppose my point, if I even have one, is to urge you not to dismiss the first game once you finish with the second one, because it's all there. The characters, the writing, the systems, the layers and depth. It feels like such a complete and real world. The last night I told an NPC that his mate had grassed him up to me for something. As soon as we had finished talking, the guy went over to his mate and had a right go at him for telling me what he had told me. They proceeded to have a fight and I just watched, giggling. Anyway, thanks for highlighting this series. It's been the perfect place to lose myself and escape the real world for a couple of weeks. Thanks from Alex.
I
We
still
all need
think
to
about
escape
that.
the real world, don't we?
We certainly do. I still think about that one guy that used to message us in every week when the first game come out saying,
Yeah,
have
I
you
do
played
remember
Kingdom
that.
Come Deliverance? And we were like, no, we're not going to play it, mate. And constantly doing that. And now I am that person. I am that person. But it's one of those where the moment I started playing it, I was, and you said that you'd started in, I was like, yeah, you're not going to like
No.
anything that comes up with a, and I could be wrong. I don't want to judge you, but
You
but
know
every
me
time
very well.
If I play a first-person game and there's a text prompt to come up to show you what to go into which menu and to do that, I get a feeling that's it. That's the cut-off point. That's like, no, I'm not going any further in this.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a bit later on in what we've been playing, because I'm starting to rediscover what I like about gaming, and part of it is the fact you'll talk about a game and go, well, it's 100 hours. And I listen, I just think, oh, fucking hell, man. I am nearly 52. I am well over halfway done. I haven't got 100 hours. I haven't got 100 hours, and I don't want to spend 100 hours. So I hear stuff like that, and it terrifies me, you know. And then if you got fucking craft. I hate crafting. Just get rid of crafting. Let me just have a thing. But I've enjoyed watching the videos of you guys playing it online, and I've been enjoying hearing your stories about Kingdom Come and all of that stuff. But 100 hours is too big. It's too big. We don't need it.
What's the longest game you've played? Like, what is the game? Is there been a
Pac-Man?
game like Pac-Man is pretty long?
No, I tell you. Well, I don't go in for that thing of spending like days and days and days. 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Split Fiction, I guess, is the most.
Yeah, so
recent. That's a decent
I remember
length.
you went years without actually completing the game. Wasn't the first game you completed was It Takes Two, wasn't it?
First game I ever completed was It Takes Two, yeah, and I've
Oh no,
played it.
or was it A Way Out? I'm trying to remember.
Oh no,
which
it was A
came
Way
first.
Out. The Way Out is the prison
Right,
one, yeah, and I
that's it.
played it 3 times. But I didn't. I never really committed to games. But we'll talk about those a little bit later on in the section called "What You've Been Playing, Boy."
Cool. Next.
Angry Baboon. This is feedback for Caddy's feedback from episode 444. Kind of wish maybe we hadn't suggested this, but here's where we are. Caddy is my nephew. It's true what David said and what Sean said about him. As a plastic fan, I listen to one episode every 6 months. I was going to go in on him in this feedback, but I need a favour from him next month, and I thought it'd be easier to get you to ask him for me. Caddy, could you look after my Monty, which is my dog, for a couple of nights on April 21st? Thanks. Great episode, as always. I'm on playthrough 4 now of every episode, as I'm a proper fan, unlike some.
All right, listen
That's
next
real
week
dedication.
to find out whether Caddy will look after Monty. That is, if Caddy's listening to this particular episode of the computer game show. We'll find out next week.
Unlikely. Greg, not to bring needless pedant.
Pedantry.
Yeah, I know. I always read that. We'll start again. Greg, not to bring needless pedantry into the feedback section, but Matt said Nemesis, the ride Norton Towers, isn't a monster. This is sort of incorrect. As well, technically monsters don't actually exist. Within the theming of the ride and the still canon lore of Norton Towers, Nemesis is actually an alien Lovecraftian monster. It was summoned by an evil cult in 1994 and contained by a team of secret super soldiers called Phalanx. The roller coaster was originally supposed to be the metal constraints used to bind it in place, binding that since the revamp of the roller coaster, the monster has started to take over. So now the roller coaster is also Nemesis. I know this because I was talking to Norton Towers when I was too young and too scared to ride any of the good rides, and the Nemesis promotional comic was the highlight of a rather boring day. Well, thanks for your history.
It's the low light of this podcast, but
Yes, I mean it is. I mean, this is kind of what we need feedback for, but maybe gone too far there, Greg.
We
gone
went
too far.
there with school once. Like, it probably was around 1994 when it first came out. And one of the teachers, like, we saw him in the line and he got to the front and then he bottled it and like,
Oh,
and then
it. But no respect from the students after
and
that,
then,
is there?
yeah, after that, it was not good for him in school. It was, not so good.
What'd you call it? What'd you call him? What was the nickname? Nemesis. Teachers get a Nemesis, man. Oh, was it that?
It's just bottle job and things
Bottle
like
Job is a great name.
For a teacher, bloody hell.
Bottle Job. Here comes Bottle Job. And the thing is, he couldn't do anything about it. He'd just look up sadly and look at the ground, and everyone would know he was a pussy.
It's Mr. Bottle Job.
that. Wasn't expected to go there. Anyway,
James, are you a roller coaster guy?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore because I've suddenly realised that I'm going to die like at some point. And
Realised
Suddenly
of that.
realise you're going to die. Fuck
Yeah.
hell.
That is a episode title. Become realised. If you could title something like that. What do you mean? You're not going to. What you're
No,
suddenly-
it's like
surely that's better. You're more likely to go on a roller coaster because you're like, fuck it, I've got less life to lose. Let's get up there. If something does go wrong,
no, I think it's
fine.
just as I ebbing towards the middle of my 40s, I've become much more aware of the fact that I ain't got long, and so
Right.
anything
so
like that
spend
just
it
makes me
Rams's
feel.
Revenge
Riding a
then,
roller
mate.
coaster, yeah.
Because I'm worried it's going to go wrong, and
Not on the
it's
teacups.
it might do. You never know. They spin pretty fast.
are you a roller coaster guy, Ian?
No, can't do it. Hate it.
Really?
Hate it. I got very, very motion sick. I just do not like it at all. I hate it. And so no, I don't.
I'm a roller coaster guy, but I've no one that goes on roller coasters with me, so it's really sad. We go to somewhere like Fort Park, and we have to go on the little ones for the kids, and then that's it. And then and Joe tends to, at the end of the day, go on, you go on a big one, And we'll watch, and then and I just feel like a knobhead because I'm queuing up on my own. I get there and I walk off, and Joe goes, "Was it good?" I go, "Yeah, it was really good." There you go, come on then. And the boys are all fed up because they've sat there for an hour waiting for Daddy to go on the big ride.
You should get 5 fast tracks for you. 5 fast tracks. Let them all queue up, right? And at the end of the day, Daddy's turn. You go and do 5. Boom, boom, boom. If that's what you enjoy, do it. I hate it. My kids absolutely love it. I hate it to the point where it terrifies me and I can't do it. I simply refuse to do it. I think they're horrible.
I don't like fast tracks, right? I've got a moral objection to fast tracks, right? But my favourite thing was when we went to Legoland in December, and it was empty. You know, who goes to Legoland in December? But it was Charlie's birthday, so we went, and there were people who had bought fast tracks and getting on at the same time as us, and they'd spent like 150 quid or whatever, and there was no queue anyway, so it was like we were sort of just given a little. They still went through it. They still went through the fast track lane because
you pay that money, you're gonna get your value. I'll make a point of it.
Okay.
Benji, feedback about accessibility. Hello, chaps. In reference to the 10 out of 10 games on the PS5 discussion, it was bemoaned that some of these games were remakes or remasters. I know it's easy to criticize these games, but as a partially sighted gamer, I thought I might add a different take. Developers often use the opportunity to include or significantly improve accessibility options in remakes and remasters. The best example being the remake of The Last of Us Part 1, which includes many incredible accessibility options from The Last of Us Part 2. Most people do not care about accessibility in a meaningful way until it affects them directly or someone they care about. Shoutouts and donations to charities like Special Effects are nice, but what is really needed is for outlets, influencers and podcasters to consider accessibility newsworthy. For example, this month, Microsoft launched an amazing new adaptive joystick, and literally no one covered the story in any depth. Developers and manufacturers that want to make a difference get almost no credit.
That's a shot at James Farley there. Little dig at James Farley. Go on.
I probably should have included that. Sorry.
Monster.
You sounded sarcastic there, though, James. That's the
not
problem.
sarcastic. I was being totally serious.
Okay.
Developers,
totally serious is another episode title. Write that down.
Developers and manufacturers that want to make a difference get almost no credit for their efforts, and in reality, the vast majority of games are still unplayable for those with even a minor accessibility need. That makes this sadder. What makes this sadder is that many accessibility options are relatively simple to include, e.g. subtitle customization and HUD resizing. Thank you for your hard work. I honestly don't know how you find the time, from Benji. Also, P.S. Amazing websites like Can I Playlist and YouTubers like Steve Saylor do amazing work covering this subject.
Thoughts, James Farley?
Apologies, James.
I've already apologised for that. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Anything to say
David?
to the what?
What are your
I
thoughts?
think our news guys should be highlighting these issues, just as Benji says here. To be honest,
Well, no,
with
I agree, and I apologised for the fact that I did not do that when it came out, and I will endeavour to do
you
better in
should
the
think
future.
think about other people before you think about yourself anymore, James. Do you know what I mean? Start opening your mind. It's just, it's a fucking disgrace.
Did just apologise, but yeah.
Do you want another one?
I'm not going
to get it on record.
Yeah. I'll put a bet under this.
I think it's an excellent point, and I've learned something from that feedback. I didn't know that when they redid up games that they added accessibility, things like that. So I appreciate the person letting us know about that. And and it is important that we often overlook stuff like that is important, like controllers and things. So I'm glad that was brought up. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Naughty Dog are always excellent. I think also maybe Sony Santa Monica did great stuff with the God of War series, where outlines of enemies and various colours for colour blindness and all sorts. So yeah, all good stuff.
Anything that gets more people playing games is all right by me. Let's have it.
100%.
Brian Trouser has messaged, Matt has really let himself down with his latest dismissal of Nate the Hate. Surely this merits some kind of reprimand from the main one. Yeah, so obviously on last week...
I was quite surprised how you went in on it again.
Just thought it'd be funny, innit? Go right in there. Well, we're like literally 2 days away from the Switch 2 proper unveiling. Are they actually going to do another one? And, it's just funny to lean right in. But Nate the Hate, now whatever he says, it's kind of gospel now. I'm never going to go against him, except when I do next time. It's kind of wild that they had one, but we'll talk about that in news, isn't it? Purple Goo. The discussion around Citizen Sleeper 2 on the show really put me off playing, and I only picked it up on a whim between games. I wish I'd gone in for it sooner. It's fantastic, even better than the first game. The issue I had with the original was about halfway through, it stopped being a game and became a full-on novel. Once the issues with the drugs to keep you going were solved, there was no peril or risk, and it was a series of click-throughs to follow stories in one location that got pretty old by the end, taking the shine off the world and the characters. With the sequel, the fantastic contracts they've added, and the constant movement around the system keeps it interesting and fresh, as someone who isn't great at games, never had an issue with difficulty. All two or three of the new stress and glitch mechanics are explained with 2-paragraph simple tutorials. I can't believe how much Matt was struggling that he had to restart. Considering the conversation about how unwieldy and verbose Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, but you're putting up with it, this is a tiny fraction of the apparent complexity here. Citizen Sleeper 2 is one of the most interesting and fun experiences I've had for years, and it feels much shorter than the first one because it's still a game at the end, and the movement around the system makes you feel like you're still progressing, and not just marking time until it ends. Dave, you should absolutely give it a go if you're willing to read 2 sides of A4 instructions. It really isn't that deep. Sean sounded defensive, like he was sticking up his baby on the show. However, having played Citizen Sleeper 2, I feel his frustration and feel the negativity I heard is really harsh. If this isn't Gotti, it's in the conversation. Keep up the incredible work. I look forward to Wednesday every week.
James Farley, is this going to be Gotti?
No, it's not.
I don't think I was the only one who had talked about the extra complexity, and once I restarted it, I flew through with literally no issues. So it just must have taken me a little bit longer than most. But another thing is as special as the first one. I actually missed being in one location and really getting to know the people and the stories. But I'm glad I got through it. I'll say it's a great game, but nowhere near as special as the first one.
See, one of the things that he says there, where he says it stopped being a game and became a full-on novel, the first one, that for me was a plus point. That was what I enjoyed it, was when it became more like that and became less about throwing dice, which I wasn't interested in. So,
Right.
Okay, Henry.
We're
also,
nearly 40
Dave.
minutes in, we're still on feedback. This is insane. Go on.
Also, Dave, you seem to worry about the amount of time the show has spent discussing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I think the discussion has been great. And not outstated welcome yet. Please continue the weekly updates.
Thank you.
It's now a snake eating its own tail. You're talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 too much.
It is too much, isn't it?
And finally,
too much.
Sid Meier, where is James's Civ 7 review?
Good question. What?
I don't
fuck,
like.
James?
I don't like it. It's like I've played it a bit, but I've not played it very much. But I don't like it very much.
Whoa. Right, Civilization is one of your favourite game series of all time, right?
Yeah.
You just because you love a game series but don't like an entry to it, you can't just not talk about it. You've got to talk about it.
No, but the
more
reason
interesting
being
that way,
is
isn't it?
because I haven't put enough time in it to really be able to talk about it in depth. I've only played it for a couple of hours, and my initial
What are you playing on?
reaction is PS5. Yeah, I'm playing on there.
I will check to see how much you've been playing it then.
Go and have a look.
We'll have a look.
Well, that is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS, leave your feedback.
86 hours, it says here. 86 hours.
That is not true. And if that was the
what
case,
don't you like about it? What don't you like about it?
it is because of the way that they changed the system, whereby it's like ages, so that you have to change civilizations while you're playing through each of the ages, which I don't think works. I don't think it's very interesting. It's that's one of my major faults with it. But I will talk about it at some point.
Can I ask a question? What time does this finish?
Oh, mate, we are making you work.
Strap in.
Okay. All right. I should have eaten before. That's absolutely fine. That's my fault. Carry on. Let's go.
Let's get on to the news. James Farley.
Okay, so Nate the Hate was right, and there was a Nintendo Direct last week, and it was a massive. It was pretty long, wasn't it? It was really, really long, but there wasn't.
It was a long one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 40 odd
surprised.
minutes.
Yeah. Now the thing is I'm not going through every single game they talked about, because that'd be really boring.
Can't be bothered. Go on.
So what's the point? I mean,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So, what I've done is I've just picked out some bits that I personally was interested in, and if anybody else has other stuff, they can chip in, I guess. They showed Metroid Prime 4 again. There was another trailer, no release, but it's coming in 2025.
Right, okay. So Metroid Prime 4. This all ties in with what I think we're going to see, and this is when's the Switch 2 announcement? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, right? So this will be. I'm setting myself up for failure here.
And just on that, sorry, yeah, I think that Sean might be doing a stream of that, but nothing 100% correct, confirmed. But maybe Sean, maybe me, but yeah, we're gonna try and do something maybe. But yeah, just stick by your Twitches, I reckon. Stick by your Twitches.
It was great promotion. Metroid Prime 4, I'm pretty confident now will be a launch Switch 2 game that will also be available on Switch. And I think Mario Kart will also come out. The two games that they release for the Switch 2 will be Metroid and Mario Kart. Mario Kart will be exclusive to the Switch 2 and Metroid Prime 4 will be on both. And that's my prediction. That's where I think they're going to go. Because this looks a little bit more of a game than what we saw last year.
It did,
but not a very good one.
No, it didn't. I mean, like visually, it didn't look that great. I don't think. I mean, it looks just like the remake that they made. Like not some of a
remake. Yeah,
yeah, I think this looked better than when we saw it previously, only because they show more varied environments. But when we first saw that trailer last time, I was like, man, I was expecting so much more in this, given the big delay and the redevelopment of it. So I was kind of, this one was less whiplash because we'd already seen it. And it looked fine, but if you didn't know it was Metroid Prime 4, I think you'll be, well within your rights to think, is this like a remade, a remaster, slightly up-res? Like, it didn't feel like a brand new, holy shit game. But
yeah, but that's kind of
because it's seeing on Switch.
The Switch 2 version that they show is going to look a lot better. But then
I hope so.
How much better can it look? Yeah,
or maybe it's more like frame rates, because I'm not sure what game it was, and someone in the chat might correct me. But there's like a game that's out it's got like a hidden 60 frames mode in the settings, and people are thinking like that's like ready for Switch 2. So maybe it's less that this game looks better, but it might maybe run a lot better on Switch 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't completely blown away. It was a weird thing to just chuck out there. There was no date at the end of it. There was no year.
Well, there was a year. Yeah, there was. Yeah,
2025.
It had this year. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a launch Switch 2 game, right?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that probably will happen.
So the bit at the end with like the red suit, like at first I was like, "Oh, is this co-op?" What was that like majorly teasing? There's a different outfit.
It looked like Metroid Dread, like suit. It looked quite similar to all of that. So I don't know if there's any link over with that or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's but yeah, so there was
Come
that.
here for your card-cutting gaming opinions. Go on.
Do you want to talk about the virtual game cards that are coming?
Oh, fucking hell. Have you heard this, Ian?
I don't know what it is, but those words together sound shit.
Yeah. I think it's... I think this... I can... Look, I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't... It's more questions than answers, right? So, basically...
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let me just start with the frustrations of what we currently have with the Nintendo Switch, and then you can go into what this is all about. So when you have a Switch and your kids have Switches, they seem to think, it's fair that, once you're logged into a device, your family members should be able to play your game collection. It should be open to everyone. And it has a lot of frustrations with it. So with Xbox, for example, it's pretty much, if you log in, you've got access to your full game library. It's all good. It seems a lot more loose. I don't really know how it works with PS5. We've only got one.
PS5. It's not like Xbox. We can both play at the same time. Like if I share my login details and like my mate, a friend has my login details saved in a machine. When they log in, I'll be logged out. But you can basically still play the games as if it's yours.
Right, and I think the Nintendo Switch is a lot more like the Sony one then, because there are times where I've set my home Switch or my main Switch as one of the kids, so they could just play it whenever they want and they don't have to be online.
Yeah, that's what I do for
Every time I
LED.
use my Switch, it has to go online to check that I'm able to play it and no one else is playing at the same time. So it does all these really frustrating checks, but it sort of works. What is this solution to the problem, James?
Okay, so what will happen with this is that so you can link two Switch consoles together and transfer games between them, right? So if you buy like a copy, like this is IGN, they like explained this. They said if you buy a copy of Super Mario Odyssey digitally on your original Switch, you'll then be able to like transfer it over to another Switch with like no issue, as it were. And so you manage this. It's like your virtual game card library on a separate page that then connects these consoles together. And then what happens is that it means that you can then also lend games out to somebody else. So if you're part of the family, so like you're in my Nintendo family, I think, David. And so what I can do is I can lend you games across that.
But only once and for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks,
and if you're lending them, you can't play them.
That's right.
I can play them for the 2 weeks, and you can't then just lend it to me again. I'm assuming that's a one-done thing for each game, right?
I don't know if it's one and done, but it's
it expires after 2 weeks. I mean,
have a limit.
Well, no, yeah, but I kind of got an impression after that 2 weeks is up, you can just like lend it again. But
no way they're gonna let you do that.
Well, I think it might be a check-in thing, just like when we heard Xbox would kind of do stuff with like to remove like used game sales. That's probably just like 2 weeks is the maximum, and you can do it again. It won't be just a one and done thing. That feels
I think it
more
might
mad.
be a one and done thing.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where it shouldn't be, but this is Nintendo, so it probably will be.
Yeah, and again, this is what I mean by like there are too many questions about this system that they're introducing. Now, there's been some confusion as to whether, so the way they sort of presented it on this Nintendo Direct, it was like all the games you own digitally are now going to be game cards, but that's not right, is it? That's not true.
That I'm also not entirely sure about either, because I don't know if it's because there's going to be new things will be like game card versions, like digital game, or whether this transfers over to all like digital, because it can't.
Well, I mean, but they've used the example of like Super Mario Bros. Wonder. If so it will be older games.
But maybe this doesn't.
What I mean is that it either automatically converts all of your games into game cards, or you can choose which games to change into game cards.
Or
it says something on the website about it being optional.
It maybe it's only games that actually have physical cards as well. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe it's not going to be for like digital only games, that you get that are like indie games and stuff like that.
Digital only games. The whole this is exactly what I'm talking about. They've introduced this thing and put it as, hey, look at this great thing we're doing with our digital games. No one fucking understands it. No one gets it. It's confusing. It sounds more restricted than anything else we've been doing with our Switches. They say you can share your games with up to 2 Switches. Right, does that mean I can share them from mine to 2 other Switches? Or is the one that I've got also included in that?
I think the one that you got is already included in that.
Right, so what if I've got 2 kids? So I can only send them to one of my kids' Switches. I can't send it to another. Like, what the fuck? What is going on with this?
I mean, look, it says here, David, that this is to make things as flexible and convenient as physical game cartridges.
Then stop putting all these restrictions on it, like the 2 weeks and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like, it's 2 Switches. It makes no sense. Like if someone turned around to me and went, no, this is actually better, and then explained it, then fine. But they haven't done that, and that's what's confusing. That's why everyone's going, oh, I don't know about this. What the fuck is this about? It also sounds like to me, how do they decide what those 2 Switches are? If you've got 2 Switches, can you unlink one of your Switches from that? Because it also sounds like to me that this is a way of you transferring your old games to the Switch 2.
Nah,
that's it.
There's no way they'll do that. That would be crazy if they did that.
It's Nintendo, though.
Yeah, that's true.
or from there you'll have to pay to transfer or something. I don't know.
I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be all sorts of weird payment stuff with this, because I reckon there's all those rumors about like upgrading like Switch games and everything as well. There's going to be an upgrade fee for all that, because they've done that before. Like they did that between the Wii and the Wii U. Like you could for stuff. I can totally see.
Yeah, but they have also said backwards compatibility is definitely good. Well, they can't just say, but we're going to charge you for it.
No, there'll be backwards compatibility, but it's like if you want to switch to enhanced version of this though, then you need to pay.
But a lot of games do that though, right? Like that's not like that's not a Nintendo thing. I don't know. I hate the way they describe this stuff. There should have been a Q&A on the website that went through this. There should be an interview. I don't know. There's not enough information about this game card thing, and it sounds worse than what we've got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a family, like someone, I've got me and Eddie, like saying like Nintendo family, this feels like a downgrade. But then maybe this isn't for people who aren't in the families.
That's what I'm saying,
because it still requires the internet check-in like it does currently.
Yeah, it might be both though. It might be that if I'm logged into Harry's Switch and Charlie's Switch, it may still work the way it always worked. but this is in addition to that, and it stops you from having to do online checks. If that's the case,
No,
brilliant.
it still
That's
requires
really
online
nice.
checks. It's still said like you still need to connect to the internet the first time you launch it.
Yeah,
So-
the first time you launch it, but after that, presumably the game card is on there, and that's how it works, right?
Yeah, so I guess that would be an improvement rather than having to check every time. But yeah,
Yes.
classic Nintendo.
Yeah, shame. Okay.
So there was that. There was also Everybody's Golf is coming to Switch this year. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
that's
Everybody's Golf
interesting.
is a well, all the Everybody's
Okay.
Golf games are great. So yeah, all over that.
Good series, one that you usually associate with Sony, right? So
Yeah.
seeing that on has an Everybody's Golf been on a Nintendo console before? Is this the first?
No, but they did Clap Hands did a
That's right,
iOS
they did
game,
Clap
didn't
Hands.
they?
Yeah,
Golf,
and it's on
yeah.
VR as well. Not called Everybody's Golf. It's got a different name, but it's basically a VR version. So yeah, they're trying to get out there, and it's a bloody brilliant golf game. So that's great.
Of course, the one that I'm most excited about out of all these games announced at this Direct was Rhythm Heaven Groove. A Rhythm Heaven game. Oh mate, I've been itching for a new one of those for a while, so I'm bang up for that. Like if they get that right, and it seems like it's doing all the right things, got the right composers on, it looks brilliant. It seems to have the right tone in the trailer. I am looking forward to Rhythm Heaven returning. Unfortunately, I've got to look forward quite a way to 2026
Yeah.
before I'm able to play this game, which sucks. But yeah.
And also, then they also announced this Nintendo Today app. Has anybody downloaded it?
I have, of course, I have. It's a hot new app. Why would I not?
Because it does nothing that
Yeah.
social media doesn't already.
Well, it's got a calendar. I mean, it just feels like so. What this delivers news direct to the user. So are they just trying to basically get off Twitter? Is that kind of what it is? They're sick of Twitter,
I think they're
so
noticing
we've
that.
created.
No, I don't think they're trying to get off Twitter. I think they're noticing that a lot of their audience is now spreading over social media platforms, and if they can direct them through this app, then that suits them, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's got a calendar. It's got a news feed. Why didn't they just update the Nintendo
Stop
app?
saying it's got a calendar.
That's one of two features it's got, David. I'm going to mention 50% of the features.
It's got notifications. You know,
Yeah,
for
but why
things,
didn't they just update the Nintendo app and have it all in one place? Like, that's that. It's like even they've forgotten about it.
I've got this. They haven't got a great track record for apps, have they? Nintendo. I mean, the Nintendo Online app is still absolute dog shit, and that's been what 10 years old now? Is that 10 years old, something like that?
Yeah, it must. Well, however old the Switch is, it's
Oh my
yeah,
god!
it's not
All
very
right,
good.
and then what did they end on, James? What was their big game announcement at the end of this direct? Because this was just bizarre.
What, the Tomodachi Life, living the
Yes, they're
dream?
bringing Tomodachi Life back.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play this, Ian? Tomodachi Life.
I don't know Tomodachi Life, no.
This was their attempt. Again, this was them when they were first getting into the world of mobile apps. This was their attempt at sort of a social media platform.
Oh.
And it was all text to speech. And it was really weird where you could send gifts to each other
No, hang
and
on.
take photos.
Are you
Am I
talking
getting
about?
mixed up?
Yeah, you talking about the game or the app that they released?
I'm talking about the app.
Okay, no, this is a game which is like, yeah, this is not the same thing.
What am
'Cause
I
that-
thinking of then?
You're thinking of that app that they released when they first started, like you said, when they first started getting to
Oh,
mobile,
but
which
this
was
really reminds me of that.
Yeah,
because
it's-
it's all text to speech. And was that all based on Tomodachi Life then?
as Ben in the chat says, you're thinking of Mitomo, which was like
that's right. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But
what was
Tomodachi Life
Mitomo
was
then?
well, Tomodachi Life though first of all was a 3DS game, and it's a kind of, it like had similar kind of stylings, and it's like you could like make families and like make a street full of people and stuff, and then get them to interact with each other and stuff. It was just like crazy, strange, interesting, kind of game. And yeah, the Mitomo thing was what you said. It was like where they did like polls, and you could like
Yeah. What's
send
your
messages.
favourite meal?
Right.
Fish and chips or roast dinner?
Yeah, it was
That's
all
basically
stuff
what I
like
remember
that.
from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it would be like I'd be like on the app, and Tamor would walk in and go, "I liked fish and chips," and then walk off again. You
Yeah.
go, "Okay, all right." If you
Yeah.
that's what weird fucking platform that was. I thought, okay, so when I saw this,
Mm-hmm.
it reminded me so much of Mitomo. I thought it was them bringing that back. Okay,
No, this is a separate. I
what's-
mean, my
what's
kids.
Tomodachi Life then.
Well, like Rachel and Asher played this a lot because it's kind of like, it's not like Animal Crossing or anything like that. It's just, as I said, it's just like you create people and then make them sort of interact with each other and in various
Well, like
different ways.
is it their attempt at The Sims or what?
Yeah, kind of. It's like that, but wacky. Think of it like as being a bit more wacky than
Wacky
The
Sims.
Sims. Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right. A lot of people
Alright.
really liked it, and people were really excited that this has been announced, but it's not coming out until next year, so who
No,
cares?
very, very weird Nintendo Direct, and you can only assume that most of this will be coming out for the Switch too as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. All right.
So next story is that then we also found out through the Nintendo Today app that the Zelda film has got like a date now. It's like coming on the 26th of March 2027, and Miyamoto is producing it, and it's being co-financed by Sony Pictures, and yeah, there you go.
Sony Pictures. Okay.
Yeah,
The other
they're
bit of news,
distributing it.
the other bit is kind of related is that Industry Insider says that there's going to be a trilogy. Apparently 3 films over 6 years. I mean, I would think let's just get the first one done and see what that's like first, rather than planning a.
I still don't know how you do a live-action Zelda film. I don't know how you do
that
it.
isn't cringe. Yeah, I mean, I really hope I'm eating my words, but this was such a tougher assignment than a Mario movie, which I still wasn't blown
100%.
away by. But like a live action Zelda, it's gonna be. I'm worried. I'm scared, but hopefully it's amazing, and I'm eating my words.
Do they have the hat on, the green hat that comes down? Does he wear that?
He's got to wear the classic tunic.
Yeah,
It's
but
got
it
with the
looks stupid
tunic,
in
the
real
sword.
life, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really would. I mean, also the other thing that's a bit worrying about this is that the producer, apparently the film producer, it's Avi Arad who is part of this, and he's been involved in a lot of video game to film projects, including Borderlands and Uncharted. The Tom
I
Holland one.
liked Uncharted.
It was
I
all
never
right.
saw
It wasn't great,
It was
though.
a jolly good romp.
It was all right. It wasn't great though.
It was a lot of fun.
All
I'm
right.
looking at the clashing. The films under his name. He wasn't involved in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, was he? And Into the Spider-Verse is what I'm seeing here. Is that right?
Oh, so James just picked the shit films that he'd been involved in and not the
Yeah,
good
no,
films
he's
he'd
involved
been
in that as well, James. So what? Have
Hey,
you
hang on,
got?
I thought you said that Uncharted was good, Ian.
No, that you picked the ones that you thought were shit. And do you know what? This is the kind of fresh, open debate we're going to have on our Grange Hill podcast, and I embrace it. I embrace
So
it.
James comes with a massive bias. Okay, yeah, cool.
That never happens. It's yeah, but yeah. So
Loads of good stuff as well. What you do? Come on, James.
he did the Borderlands adaptation, which was dreadful.
Did you
Yeah,
watch
but
the
you
board?
also-
I was tempted to watch it because it was so bad, but then I thought it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
worth
what's the
time.
movie like, James?
I mean, I'm also tempted because I've not seen it. It's either, but
Interesting.
it's
Right,
got like
okay, well then, so
7%
don't
or
give
whatever.
me the big one. Also, he was a producer on Borderlands, and he was also a producer on Across the Spider-Verse. No Way Home. You like that one? You like the Venom films, didn't you? There Be Carnage. I don't know what that was. And the other Venom. Ghost in the Shell. You all saying how good Ghost in the Shell was.
No, that
That's
was
2017.
the anime
so that's not
was
the
good,
original, yeah.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. Iron Man? That was a film that you liked, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
Yes,
from
yeah,
the
Iron Man was a
Marvels?
good one. Yeah, Incredible Hulk not so good though.
Brats. Right.
Anyway, yeah. Zelda movie. Yeah, scared. But now we've got 2 years to be scared of it, so that's
Have
fine.
they announced who's playing
No,
Link?
there's no details on casting.
It's Chris Pratt. He's doing
That's
everyone. No, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Okay, next story though is that so Netflix has got a new person in charge of gaming who's called Elaine Tascan, and he's laid out what he thinks about gaming in the future and Netflix. And he thinks it's going to be less about consoles and it's all going to be about phone-controlled party games. Is the future. So he spoke with the game business. And he said they're going to have like a 4-pronged approach at Netflix.
Hang on, sorry.
focusing-
He spoke with the game business.
Yeah, it's a new website. It's,
Okay, right. I thought you
yeah.
meant just like he spoke. I'm going to speak to the game business. I mean, it's a website. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, it's
Do you
a
reckon
Chris
Rockstar
Strings new
heard
thing.
him
but
say
yeah.
that and go, cancel Grand Theft Auto. We need to get some party games on mobiles because this is not.
Yeah,
gonna
well, we
sell.
need
I mean-
Buzz too.
He's got some incredible quotes from
I
this.
would love Buzz too.
Yeah, I'll be all over
Yeah.
that.
I
actually,
love
to be fair.
Buzz. Wouldn't you love a new Buzz?
I love a new Buzz, yeah.
Sony. Yeah.
You may get one. So it says there's going to be a four-pronged approach focusing on narrative and transmedia projects, big mainstream IP, and being a trusted destination for families on party games played on TVs using mobile phones as controllers. So he said this. He said, "I love the Wii. I'm very vigorous about lowering friction and eliminating it if we can. I can see that the subscription is friction as well. Maybe good friction because it makes business sense. But the other friction
I love
is
good friction. Love that good friction.
but the other friction is having enough controllers for family. Having a piece of hardware that might be expensive, waiting for a game to download. I'm looking at all the obstacles and asking if we can reduce them as much as possible."
Game might not be good. Like, I mean, the stuff he's saying is ridiculous. God.
And then he says, when it comes to console, we started to look at the future where the platform is agnostic. Look at the younger generation. Are 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds dreaming of owning a PlayStation 6? I'm not sure. They are wanting
Yeah,
to
they
interact.
fucking are. Are you kidding me? If I turn around to a kid and go, "Do you want to? Are you looking for a PlayStation 6?" Yes, would be the answer. Are you mad?
I'm
Well,
not sure.
He
Well,
says
no, but I
he's
mean,
not
but-
sure.
Yeah, because if you
No,
were
I
like,
like Netflix.
but like if you were Harry and Charlie, they just want to play, like the games they're playing, Fortnite, whatever, and it's on anything. So it's less about that and more about the game, isn't it?
It's not. They all want the new one because that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants the new one. You know that, Matt. That's
Yeah,
law you
but
live by.
I think now the games are everywhere and cross-platform. I think that's becoming
What
less.
is going on with this games are everywhere thing,
It's-
Matt? What's got into you today?
No,
What's going on?
Fortnite's
bud?
on everything, like phone, console,
Microsoft
PC.
marketing thing has absorbed. It's just like...
Yeah, it's on everything. So I think now because of cross-platform as well, it's less side about where you're playing it. It's more just this does make sense in a way. I don't know, but
No, it doesn't, mate.
I think
This
it
is
does
crap.
make sense, and it's because listen, I'm older than you, but you're all fucking old, right? So deal with it. But I didn't know this. You can play Fortnite and Call of Duty on your phone. Did you know? Did you guys know
Yeah,
this? Right. So why does anyone need a console? And I know this is slightly different. It's talking about party games and stuff like that, and that. But I think the console is dead, man. I reckon that the console is dead. Who needs a console anymore? You can play it anywhere.
I don't think that's true at all. And
Go
the
on.
reason being is because the people that are playing stuff like Fortnite, Minecraft and stuff, the people that really get into it, they want the best experience of that. And that is not on a mobile phone.
What is your definition of really getting into it?
Somebody who's playing mostly just Fortnite and stuff like that. They want to have a good experience, and you can't have that on a mobile. It's just not. That's why they go out and buy.
Yes, I'll give you that.
The only thing that counters that, I think, we're now like deep into this generation, and there are still over 70 million PS5 sold.
Yeah.
But that is there's console sales are not going down; they're not going away. I think people still want the next games console, and I think Tuscan here seems to be conveniently thinking that everyone is slowly moving towards playing Netflix games, and they're not. Like, Netflix gaming has been about for a long time, and it's not been successful.
Do you want to hear about the very special competitive advantage that he thinks they've got?
Go on.
Oh, okay. You've just chucked this in at the end, haven't you?
well, I think we should. Well, I mean, it'd be nice to guess, but I mean, I guess the reach. Like, although how much of the game's really kind of promoted?
He's not really thinking about the reach. He's thinking, he says, we've just scratched the surface. For instance, for Squid Game, you watch the show and you unlock some currency in the game. But that's just the beginning. Imagine places where you watch something and then something special appears in the game. And maybe in the future you do something in the game and then you watch something because of AI or what have you, and something happens there. We have a lot of things that we can imagine and reimagine. So, yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you made that up on the spot. I don't know. Maybe you watch a show and then on the show, the man says game, and then you go into the game and the man says game in game as well.
Yeah. Something
The
special
man
appears.
says game in game.
It sounds like what he wants is do you remember what was the fucking association with what was the bloody Matrix game that come out on was it PS2? And it was like, no, this bridges the gap between the movies.
It
you're
is
a real Matrix
canon.
fan.
It is canon.
Yeah, Enter the
God.
Matrix.
Because he
it's
dies in it,
Seven
doesn't he?
shite.
One of them, is it Samuel L. Jackson dies in it, and that's canon in the movies.
Well, I don't need to play the game anymore. Fucking hell. You just
Sorry,
did
guys.
proper spoiler that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do not agree with this person at all about his view on the future of video games. So
There you go.
Stick it up there.
So, final story is that Game Informer is back, and the whole team has returned. So, Game Informer was an American publication, and it went to pieces last August.
You okay?
Yeah,
you're choking up.
Winding down.
You're choking up.
So someone put some new
What it
batteries
is
in.
this is one of those stories that James does not give a shit about, but feels that he has to mention on the show. Am I correct?
I think the problem is, right, is I just realised that the reason I put this story in here was because I know that Sean's got strong feelings about it, and Sean is not here, and so it's a bit less of a slam dunk now, which is a bit of a problem.
Oh, it was a wind-up story. Okay, I like.
Yeah.
So
it's more about who's born, isn't it?
What you're admitting is that you forgot that Ian was going to be on the show.
And I didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah. So either way, I'll just go through this quickly. So the whole staff were laid off in August last year, and now they're all back because.
Yeah, why is that funny?
No, because it's got a happy ending, David. That's why it's got a happy ending. So there was a surprise resurrection by this new owner that's called Gunzilla, and they're a game developer that were co-founded by film director Neil Blomkamp, and yeah, they brought it back. But then people are a bit upset about this because, well, not upset, but there's been conversations that we've had in our WhatsApp chat about this, whereby Gunzilla's whole thing is like free to play, like blockchain games, and people are a bit weirded out by that. But there you go. Sean's not here. Sean's not here.
Why are they weirded out by that, James? Do we ask you? Are we supposed to be asking you here? Why are they weirded out by that?
I mean, I think it's because the game, like one of the games they're bringing out, is called Guns. That's Gun with a Z on the end.
Fun.
And it says
That's a good
that
name for a game.
this empowers game developers with the tools to build player-driven economies by providing players full ownership of in-game assets as tradable NFTs. And so, it's got all
It wasn't as good as Swords.
No.
That was I preferred that game, and think about other weapon.
But it's good that another publication's back or something. I don't know.
Is it?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Sean's
I'd obviously
view on
heard
that.
of Game Informer, and I know everyone got really excited when they're like, "Oh, what's the new Game Informer cover?" That all seemed to be a big thing on Twitter back in the day. But yeah, I was never really a magazine I read because it was obviously it's an American thing, isn't it? But it's kind of amazing that they brought the entire team back. Like, not one of them got a job elsewhere. They're like, I saw this, let's get the old band back together. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I guess we'll see when they release an issue. Don't know.
Matt, why couldn't you have said all that earlier on when I was floundering to help me out?
Saying it now. Everyone else is talking.
Brilliant, thanks.
Okay.
What you've been playing this week? Should we start with that? Unfortunately, I have been playing Atomfall, but I'm so early on and I'm fucking struggling with it. I'll be honest with you. It's one of those games where I think the game... It's so hard to start a game. What do you want when you start a game like this? What do you want? Do you want a long bit of story at the start? Do you want cutscenes? Or do you want to get straight into it?
Press A to run and right trigger to crouch. That's what I want from the start of my games.
This has a very sort of fast and instant approach to getting you into the game, which is what I say I always want. But here I'm like, I don't get what's going on at all. You start off, you sort of wake up in a bunker and there's someone bleeding out and you save them. This all happens within the first 20 seconds of the game. And it's like, imagine, when you play a Fallout game, James, there's that whole bit in the bunker and you're doing stuff for people, and then there's that big moment when the doors open. That happens within the first 30 seconds of launching the game. All of that stuff happens. It's not 30 seconds, like 2 minutes. But honestly, I was like, what? What is going on? And then you see a character just outside the vault, and they're like, hey, stranger, well, you're not from round here, are you? What's your story? And you go, I don't know what my story is. I don't know who I am or what's going on or what this fucking world is. And he's mentioning a city around some walls, and I was like, I don't know if I can hack this. I don't know if I can get involved in another world like this at the moment. I was really struggling with it.
So is it a Fallout style game? Is that the whole thing with this?
I mean, it very much reminds me of Fallout. There's bits of Half-Life in there, I think, but only in the way that the characters move about and talk and that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it feels like it's not trying to be Fallout. I think there might be a little bit more to it than that, than just straight up copying it. And it's set in the British countryside, so everyone's got regional British accents. I just got to a city full of Welsh army people, and that sort of adds a little bit of charm to it. But at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to wrap myself up in this world? As you said, Ian, it's like that thing where you sort of almost intimidated by it, the length of a game, or you go, do I really want to sit and wrap myself in this world? And so far, it just seems really spooky. There are a lot of like caves that are pitch black, and I'm like, I don't really want to go in there. I went into like this lake, and all these fish started killing me, and I was like, for fuck's sake. But I did actually like one of the things when I launched the game. It was like, right, what do you like about games? And it gives you like 3 or 4 different difficulty options.
Was one of them like mobile-based party games?
Yeah,
that's all I want.
Well, it wasn't like easy, medium, hard, whatever. It was like, do you hate crafting? Well, then choose this one. Do you hate combat and crafting and all this? Are you good with combat? Do you like stealth and all this sort of stuff? And it's sort of, there's like sliders for each like gameplay type or whatever. But even then, I was walking along, and then I saw a group of people, and out of nowhere they just started shooting at me, and I died. And I was like,
You're like, I started doing like combat. What are these guys doing? Did you say no to everything? What do you like? Moving around? No. Talking? No. Shooting? Nah. Okay, so
games.
Do you like games? No. Really? Turn off. Boot to menu.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've also heard things where they're like, yeah, it's all right. So I don't know if I'm going to put the time and effort into it. But am I the only? This doesn't interest you guys at all?
Not really, because it's not Come Deliverance 2. So, yeah.
Oh dear.
It's the time, isn't it? It's the time. To play something.
It is the time, and I'm really struggling with time at the moment to get to play games, and I need to get that sorted because I need to fucking play more games. But Ian, let's get to you first before we go to Kingdom Come.
I've been playing a couple, right? But for me, the last few weeks have been split fiction. I've not been able to watch you boys streaming it because I'm playing it with my 13-year-old, and I didn't want any spoilers. I fucking loved that game so much. We finished it last week. Today we started our second playthrough, but reversing the roles. Kim, my 13-year-old son, he doesn't live here, right? And I don't see my kids that much these days because they're teenagers, and they don't want to come and visit their dad because they're doing teenage stuff. So I kind of miss my boys. But pretty much every night for the last 3 weeks, I've had a message from Kim saying, "Can you play tonight? Can you play tonight?" Except when he went off and started playing something else with someone else. But that's by the by. And we've been.
Did you just like hammer the invite to party thing?
Well, he went off to play A Way Out for the 6th time with a friend because he's obsessed with that game. And so we've been having like 2 hours a night, 1.5, 2 hours a night on the Xbox playing Split Fiction. He pisses himself because I am so bad at all of the jumpy bits and the runny bits, and I'm constantly dying at all of that stuff. But we are having the most fun playing a video game we've ever had, right? First of all, it's a brilliant game. It's a brilliant, and I heard you, Dave, going, "Oh, it's not, it's not really caught me. It's not." Fuck off. It's brilliant. Every single thing about it, apart from some of the dialogue, is a bit shit. Every single thing about it is absolutely brilliant. The story's, kind of cheesy and charming. Some of the dialogue is
in it, or the character reveals about why, their emotional impacts and the reflect, like that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, we knew ages ago.
There's a bit of that, but I just thought it was so much fun, and there are so many in gags. Kim, we played A Way Out. He's 13 now. He would have been 10. Wow. Once you get to the third motherfucker, it's like, okay, we're in, but you must not tell your mum that you're playing this game with me.
Right.
But he's obsessed with that game. He's literally just played it for the 6th time. He watched Prison Break off the back of it. And there's a whole...
Obsessed with the game, but incredibly potty mouth.
Incredibly potty mouth. And there's, and you've alluded to it, and I won't spoil any of the stuff, but there's a really lovely a way out Easter egg that's actually quite a big Easter egg, unless you're Dave Turner's playing it.
Yeah, I fucked that Easter egg up, and I can't wait to tell you guys what happens.
But
I
it's
really completely fucked it up.
lovely. And Kim has found loads of these Easter eggs on Twitter. And so we kind of knew where to go for a lot of them. The second time round, we're playing it more slowly and getting all of the bits that we've missed and trying to get all the achievements. And we found this fucked up laser level that's impossible. It's got like 6.
Oh, you found that?
Well, he found it through TikTok and then told me which.
Oh,
buttons to
right,
press
okay,
again.
yeah, sure.
But there's all these. There's this great hidden laser level that's impossible. But, and we're just having a blast, right? And I think the humor is spot on. You know, my cats are fighting in the background. You know, the whole bit with the pigs is just, we were pissing ourselves at that. And I'm deliberately, I don't know, how far have you two got in the game? You haven't finished it yet, have you?
No.
They're quite
not
far
yet.
into it.
They're like 6.5 hours or so in.
They're
Okay.
in the bit. You've just got to the bit where your witch is trying to find the cat. You're doing the cat finding mission, right?
We did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we were done that already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
where you're up
okay,
to. You're
that's-
just after that, aren't you?
That was, we had we stayed in that bit for about 40 minutes just doing the spells. I love it, right? It's so much fun. And again, no spoilers. The last 45 minutes is
Yeah.
the most incredible thing I have ever seen in a video game, right?
Yeah.
We're playing it and I was pissing myself, I was giggling at it because it was so clever and it was so innovative, and we're both going, how is this even possible what they've done?
That's like
And-
code. They've done that out of code. It fucking blows my mind. It blows my mind.
I don't get it, and I'm really looking forward to getting there again. So for me, man, it's just so much fun, and all the mini games. There's an SSX tricky. There's all of these things going on. We've just done the bit again where you're on the motorbike. And you've got to do fucking hell. Everyone will have seen this bit, so I don't. This is when you've got to deactivate a bomb on your phone, but you've got to do
Yes.
the capture,
The capture, yeah.
thing, and then you've got to, and Kim found there was an achievement. If you actually did it, you detonate you what's the opposite of detonate? You disarm the bomb. But honestly, what a great gag! You've got to disarm a bomb, and you've got to do a capture code and click all the boxes. I'm pissing myself at it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So we've I just started this again with Charlie, and you've done it. You're doing it again, but you've switched roles.
We've switched
right?
roles, yeah.
So Charlie chose the character that I played as through my playthrough. Do you keep going to the wrong bit?
Yeah. I
So
get
do I.
constantly. Oh, I thought I was
Charlie
looking at
keeps
the other
going,
person.
That's my one. Yeah, looking at the wrong side of the screen all the
Yeah.
time because it's
Yeah.
like you play through the game as the other person.
And it's a great length. What is it? It's 9 hours, 10 hours. It's something
9 to
like
10
that.
hours,
That
yeah.
thing of what I said before. Honestly, you talk about so many games. I think, I'd love a go at that. I'm not spending 60 hours of my life, and games where it takes 8 or 10 hours before it starts to get good. I can't do that. Nice 9-10 hour story game. Some of the dialogue is a little bit cheesy. You kind of know where a lot of it is going, but I loved it. And you know what? And there is a bit in it that perhaps is a little bit brutal and is a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's perhaps not handled in a great way. But do you know what? I was in tears at that bit. I was in tears.
Really?
Yeah.
I grimaced at that.
I
was
know
like,
you
I
did.
don't know if I could do
I
this.
think some people might struggle to watch it. I had it in tears. I was in tears. And me and Kim were able to have a little bit of a conversation about it. He's 13. Your boys are significantly younger, so it might be a slightly different thing. But
yeah.
we were able to have a little bit of chat about it. Tonally, maybe it didn't quite fit in with the rest of the language, but I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it.
I'm slightly concerned whether Harry can see it through to the end because it is a really tough game in places. Like,
Yeah.
particularly towards the end, it can get very, very tough. But so far, so good. I think it does a good. It really handles. One of you can keep the game alive. That sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
when Charlie's dying, I'm just keeping the game alive, and I don't know
Kim's
if it
doing that
is.
the whole time.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you go, is the game getting easier every time I die? Because it feels like, I'm sure that It Takes Two did that. It made it easier if you died over and over again. And I wonder if there's a bit of that in this.
It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? Like when we were doing one of the bosses, Matt, it felt a bit like that. Like whereby we'd failed like quite a few times, and then it started to feel like the bar was going down more quickly than it was before.
Yeah.
It's, maybe they help things out, which is really good.
I do wonder. Yeah, that'd be fucking great. I think looking back on it, I think as an overall experience, the problem we had is that we were reviewing it in bits, and so like our first impressions and stuff. And I do genuinely think that the first hour or two was a little bit disappointing, but after that, it does some amazing things. And that, as you say, that last hour, I cannot wait for Matt and James to get there. It's going to be so exciting watching them experience that live.
I just remember, and I want to watch it because I want to see it. I just remembered another little Easter egg that Kim had found. There's a radio. There's in a train station, you find a radio, and if you tune it to the right frequency, you hear the game chief, the head of the game company, saying "fuck the Oscars" and doing this. And he literally goes "fuck the Oscars." He's doing this interview about gaming awards or something, and it's just lovely little things like
That's
that.
Good.
That are hidden away in there.
Charlie and I found that because that's in It Takes Two as well. That Easter egg.
Oh, is
you know
it?
when you're in the space bit with the baboon.
Yeah.
If you get the radar and point it towards a particular star, he goes, "Fuck the Oscars, fuck you." It's brilliant.
That's obviously his thing. We are.
Have you not seen that clip? Do you know what that's from?
No. I can imagine it's quite long.
Yeah, it was the Game Awards, and Jeff Keighley was just interviewing him about It
was
Takes
that
Two.
Jeff
It's
Keighley?
like, you've got your new game coming out, It Takes Two. And he says, "Can you swear on this?" He said, "Well, yeah, you could." And he just looks at the screen and goes, "Fuck the Oscars! Fuck the Oscars!" It's
Oh
really
wow!
funny.
I'll find that clip and send it.
That's
I know you get a lot of messages from parents and dads saying, "Oh, I do get games and kids and stuff like that." Honestly, I have spent more time with Kim on our headsets the last 3 weeks than we have done in ages. It's not because I'm a bad dad. It's not because he's a bad kid. He wants to go off and hang out with his mates. But we've spent pretty much every evening for 3 weeks playing video games. And then he's messaging me saying, can we play it again but swap roles? I'm like, yeah, of course we fucking can. I don't say it like that. Although I do swear quite a lot in the game. I end up going, I start off going, "Oh, fudge. And then it becomes, "Oh, fuck this." But it's like, yeah, of course I'll play the game with you again. This is brilliant, man. We're getting to hang out and have a laugh, and you're getting to have a laugh at me because I'm crap at all the running and the jumping stuff. So this for me is more than a game. This is beautiful. This is what it's all about.
It was lost. I think that subject come up recently because Gareth Southgate did a big speech about where we're going wrong with kids and all this sort of stuff. And one of the things he was talking about was video games having a negative impact, but it's never the social aspect is never considered with that. And it was always a thing when I was growing up. I played video games because my mates at school played video games, and we would spend our time at school talking about them.
Yeah.
And I said, could you imagine like now Harry is constantly talking to his mates in the evening because and I wouldn't want him to just be about playing video games. Don't get me wrong, but you cannot ignore the fact that he's chatting to his mates and getting social skills from spending time with his friends online. It is a big thing, man, and you can't undersell that. That is important, I think.
Asher spends hours like chatting with his friends, mostly like in the UK, like play Minecraft together. Like just they create these massive worlds. They're just chatting for hours and hours and hours, and they have a great time. I mean, also though, I've been playing Fortnite with him recently. And that's been pretty good. It's been fun doing that.
Is Asher excited for the movie?
For Minecraft, yes. Yeah, he's
Are
excited for that.
Are you going to see it?
Yeah,
I know you're not keen.
No, I'll have to because it's his birthday as well. So he wants for his birthday he wants to go and see that with his friends, and so probably gonna have to go and see that.
Okay,
I'm sure it'd be great.
What else have you been playing?
Yeah, very quickly. I've been so I have my Steam Deck, right, and I don't really use it. And being the old retro head, I installed MU Deck. I think it's called. So it's basically you
Fucking hell, I remember EmuDeck.
Yeah.
That's been around for a while,
I
isn't it?
tried something else. I tried Batocera, but you got to boot up from a different thing. So I got EmuDeck, and I was kind of thinking, well, what do I want to play in it? Dave, don't worry, I own all of the ROMs.
Good to clarify that.
Yeah. And I was, for some reason, someone emailed me a while ago, about Thumb Bandits, the TV show I did. And they said, oh, I really enjoyed that. I remember when you reviewed Ico on there, and it got me really, really excited. And I love that game. And I thought, oh, fuck yeah, I remember that. I really enjoyed that. So I've been playing that the last week on the Steam Deck, the PS2 version. Fucking hell, man. It's amazing. I was really hoping I'd finish it before tonight, and I haven't. And I think it's like, well, a good player can do it in 4 hours. I'm on about 5, but I'm almost
Really?
there.
Is it that short?
Or maybe actually, no. I think the walkthrough I've been using at points is sped up. It's not long. It's about 4 or 5 hours. And it's fucking beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. And I keep overthinking it. I keep thinking, right, this is going to be a really big, complicated solution. And it's not. They're really, really gentle puzzles. Everything is there that you need. There's nothing particularly tricky. And if I can't work out a puzzle, it's usually because I've not found a lever, because I wasn't looking for the right lever. It's fantastic, man. It's meditative. I've been up on my bed playing it. I'm loving it. You must have played it, James, back in the day.
Yeah, I've played it. I mean, I remember one of the things that I still remember really clearly from that was the music that plays when you're the rest like areas.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful. Like it sounds so good.
It's charming. It holds up really, really well for a PS2 game. Quite often, a lot of those PS2 games, the camera angles are a bastard. There's a couple where it gets a little bit shonky, but generally it's spot on. I wish you had an option to not have the shadow demons, because they kind of get in the way, because you got to fight them and then you know you're going to beat them. But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm kind of loving going back and throwing myself into a game. So yeah, that's the other thing I've been playing.
A couple of questions about Ico.
Yes, sir.
Firstly, have you played any of the games from the other games from that team?
No, I don't know any of the other games. Tell me. They'll be next on the list.
Shadow of the Colossus, absolutely incredible. If you like Ico, it's not similar. Like, it has a different concept, but just as brilliant, I think. I was a massive fan of Ico. This is less puzzly. It's more action. But the feel and that vibe is still there. That sort of isolation that you get from Ico with these, you're in this big castle in Ico, aren't you? And you just feel alone, like you feel really lonely in there. It's got that same sort of vibe. The other one what was the other one called? The Last Guardian?
It's The Last Guardian, yeah.
That what? Yeah. I wouldn't advise.
Let's not go there. Let's not get on that again.
Good, that one. I know Sean's angry. The other Ico thing that I love, Ian, and I'm going to send you this. Have you seen the box art to Ico?
A long time ago, yeah.
I've sent you an image of the box art to Ico.
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, I remember this.
But the US version had a different box art.
Okay.
And when you see it, after watching that, this is what they got. Okay. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's so bad that I can't quite get over how bad.
Okay, yeah, that sucks.
That's what these.
The first one's great. The first one, you'd have that up on your wall, wouldn't you? It's a bit of art.
Yeah,
wow.
well, we did. We had at home. My brother bought Ico, and he bought like the cardboard box version with the art cards, and we had them on our wall. And
that was worth money. That set.
It was worth money, actual money.
It was worth. It became, because it was like, it was something that people were really sort of sought after. And I lost that in a breakup, because I lost the PS2, and I was always gutted about that, because it was a really nice collection.
You mentioned that to me a lot.
Yeah, I'm still bitter.
Ico and Games Card. They said it were 30 quid, James. What are you talking about?
It's still money. You'd say no to 30 quid right now, would you?
James wasn't lying.
You're right. It is worth money.
It is money. It's money in your pocket.
I want to play. It's mad that you can't play Ico at the moment.
I've told you where you can play it.
Yes, I know, but I don't have the original copy of the game, so I'm not allowed to.
Shadow of the Colossus, though, I would recommend that. You can play that on. There was a remake of that, which was that came out on. Was it PS4 or PS5?
Yes, I think
it's
it was PS4, like a complete remake, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's very good. It was it's really
Yeah,
good.
that's right. It was. It reviewed really well when it came out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus. Have a look at that. Ian.
All right,
It
yeah, I
is
will do. So that
fucking incredible.
is what I've been playing this week. Thank you very much.
Cool. Oh, well, hold on. You've also got Donkey Kong 2 Game and Watch written down there.
I bought Donkey Kong 2 on the Game and Watch.
Where did you buy that?
What's the fucking website called? eBay. And I've been a little bit spendy recently. I haven't got any money, and there's been stuff going on. It's like, I'll treat myself to some shit that I don't really want. Anyway, I used to have this as a kid, and I bought it and thought it'll be a bit shit. Here's the thing: it's a bit shit, but it's fucking brilliant. I have been absolutely just like 5 minutes. I'm gonna have a quick go on Donkey Kong 2 Game and Watch, and just the feel of it, man. Oh god.
Do you know? I was so when I was in school, like in primary school, there was like kids that had those, and I so badly wanted one, but never.
The more common one, of course, was the orange Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But this I like this because and just having it, and it's so familiar, and it's just every now and then, if I'm going to bed, I'll have a little 5 minutes go on that. I've been playing that, so yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice. Never owned one of those bad boys. Right, let's do a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 update from Matt and James. A small update before we get to your messages. Who wants to go first? James, how many hours have you put into it now?
I'm 30 hours into it now, I think.
For fuck's sake, you've played the same as me already.
Yeah,
kills
although
me.
although the thing is I'm still not caught up with you because I ended up just going off and doing other things instead.
Right.
Like I've been doing loads of like tracking down poachers and stuff like that, which was great. That was a lot of fun tracking down the poachers. And I just got past the point where it says like this is the point of no return. Like at a point I've done that.
Yeah, you move on after that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a bit worried because it introduces another character as well, and I was a bit worried that I was going to have to play as that character for longer. But fortunately, you don't have to.
Well, do you not like that character? That character's fucking great.
The character's good, but I just want to be Henry, and so I was happy to go back to that.
Oh, so
again.
are you in the second area now?
No, I'm going towards there, but I'm not there yet because
Okay.
Because I got a bit
lots
burned
happen
out.
in that bit.
I started to feel a bit burned out with it, and what I mean by that is there's so much to do, and there are so many sort of like quests and stuff that I did. Did you do the one in the tower with the demons?
No. What is this?
So this is quite funny. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it's like so basically, that there's before you go on to what I presume is going to be the next area, there's a whole thing where like the Chamberlain comes up to you and you say, "Oh, you got any jobs you want doing?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a load of demons in the castle, and they're causing all sorts of mischief and trouble. Can you sort them out?" And so it asks you to then go and have a chat with the cook and all that. I mean, you pretty much figure out it's rats. That it's rats that are up to it.
Classic.
But,
it's always rats.
But you still have to keep. But you can also keep up the pretense that it is like a magic thing, that's going on. But then there's also you get to talk to this to the blacksmith, and he just sends you off on like wild goose chases all the time. But it is quite funny, like the way it's done. It like works really well. But I've just done tons of stuff like that, and then I just feel a bit like I don't want to play anymore for a bit because it's just been a lot. But I do feel like I've mastered the fighting now. I've got pretty good at that.
Okay, well, so it's actually fun now, is it?
No, it's not fun, but I can do it without without dying like now, which is pretty good.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, I hate the fighting. I was like,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
want
not
anything I can do to
massive
get
fan.
out of that. I will do, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I guess I just need to upgrade more stuff, and then it will become a bit more seamless.
Yeah, it does get easier once you upgrade. Where are you up to, Matt? What have you
I've
been
barely played it this week, unfortunately. So I might have done like the one mission after. I think it was the one with a cart, and I think I said to you like on WhatsApp that I got to a bit of. I think it was on that mission, or maybe slightly after, where they told me to go to a bandit camp to find out where this one particular person responsible for that cart thievery was. And I was there. I was only like there for like It must surely no longer than 5 minutes, just like trying to work out, okay, what do they want me to do? Do you want me to kill this person? Do they want me to... Am I supposed to be stealthy? Am I supposed to start bludgeoning everyone and run off? Anyway, I was like trying to suss out really how to play this one particular bit, and then I get like subtitles on the screen saying basically that they're leaving me because they can't believe I've pissed off and walked off somewhere else. Well, I didn't leave like the map area. I was in the same bandit camp just trying to work out what to do, but they're like, nah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. This game does not work like that.
Yes.
Like, it's not mechanical in that way. It is mechanical, but it's not like, well, I haven't left the area, so it's fine. No, but you've spent a lot of time away from
5 minutes sussing out the scene. That's all it was.
Fucking give up.
And then so then it's really awkward. So I thought I'll go find them again. Obviously, their icons weren't on the map anymore either. Like the mission basically was over at that point. So, but I did find them, and then they just weren't willing to talk to me. So there's a bit of an awkward silence as we walk back to town. But I was like, trying to follow them, and they're like, can you just go somewhere else, or we don't want to talk to you because you mess things up, or you got your own plans over you, Henry. Like, no, I was just trying to help you. And anyway, so we had a bit of a silent walk back into town. But I'm so eager to get back into this game, but it's just been a bit of a mad week. But so just on that idea of getting to the second area, I read on Rollmark someone put like 110 hours in before getting to the second map.
That's mad.
That is.
I don't know how you do that actually, but yeah.
I'm sure there's a way.
Oh, there's a way.
Oh, I have come across guns now, which was
you must really like guns.
Yeah.
Have you fired it the bit where you fire it for the first time in the camp and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's really fun. Their reaction to guns is so funny.
Rubbish as well. And it's like, and also what's quite funny about it is that one guy is just like, I think this is the future of warfare and things like that. It's just
all I'll say is don't write off guns, James. They become very handy at one point, so they sort of saved my ass a couple of times. Is that all we've been playing this week?
Gosh, I've been playing more games than
You have
Game Boys.
You have.
That's unusual.
All three of us put together,
Boys, Can we
rebrand
write that down as an episode title?
The Game Boys.
The Game Boys.
I swear that was one of our alternative names for this podcast anyway.
I think it might have been. Questions. Matt.
Yes. If you want to leave us a question, go to tcgs.co/deartcgs. We're going to start with Dr. Rumpel Buttocks. You can summon into existence a new Carry On movie with the classic cast based around a game setting of your choice. What's the theme? What's the film called? And who is Sid James playing?
Good question.
Sid James is playing Sid James because he always fucking does.
Yeah. It would probably be The Witcher. Carry on up The Witcher, I guess. I don't know. And Sid James would be playing The Witcher. There we go. Just going in with... what was the staple of those films? Was it just innuendo and
Innuendo?
He corrected it.
Cheeky, isn't it? That's cheeky. I've really understood the Carry On films.
Just Barbara Windsor, I guess, and Sid James. Was she in every movie or just that one classic one where her top pops off?
I think she was in most of them.
Oh.
That's the camping one, isn't it?
Carry On Camping,
the camping one. I never liked the Carry On films, I'm afraid.
Carry On calls does sound good, though.
Carry On
James.
phone conversations.
It does sound quite good, yeah.
But
I'm already booked, so. Yeah.
Thank you, James.
I'm excited.
Take a answering this. Can I just say I'm excited, right? Because it's 20 to 11, right? I'm looking forward to Matt going into filler mode. I've never seen it. I've never seen it live. I've only ever heard it. I've never seen it.
Not doing it. Keeping stum tonight.
Oh, he's keeping stum. All right, let's see. I don't think you can.
He'll start asking you what your favourite Saturn games were soon.
I know that.
And what Saturn games did you not play?
Yeah. Could you rank them? Like in
Can you? Why are you guys filling? I'm keeping quiet.
Matt, can you answer the question?
Yeah,
he's so good. He's making you fill for him. That's how good he is at this.
I mean, I think it's probably an obvious answer for me, but Carry On Half-Life would be great.
Go on.
And Sid James as Gordon Freeman would be incredible. Obviously, for Gordon Freeman, not much of a talker, but I think Sid James can still bring out the comedy even with that. And the scientists are quite funny, but then
Whoa. But if you're making him like Gordon Freeman, you say he's not saying anything. You're missing the main selling point of Sid James, which is the laugh. Like he's not going to do that unless he does every time he kills someone. I mean, it'll be quite funny
with a crowbar.
He just goes.
Would Kenneth Williams be a head crab?
Or one of the scientists, or all the scientists. No, I think Barbara Windsor for head crab. Instead of the head crab jumping on you, it's just basically her top popping off. So it's just on the movie.
Into a heaving bosom.
Yeah, so I think that works.
Yeah, no, it does work, Matt. Well done. Next.
Okay.
I was once in a lift with Barbara Windsor after an evening with Neil Diamond on ITV.
Did a top pop off?
Listeners, this is the sort of guest we get on these days, yeah?
It was an evening with Neil Diamond. You know where they have like a star, and then they have celebrities in the audience, and this was an evening with Neil Diamond, and I was invited. I went too fucking right, and I was sat in the 4th row, and I sang so loudly to Cracklin' Rosie that it put Neil Diamond off, and he gave me a dirty look. He actually stared at me and gave me a dirty look. Same thing happened at a Prince concert. Anyway, after that, I got in the lift. Barbara Windsor got in, and she went, "All right, love, how you doing?" And then we left the lift. My Barbara Windsor story.
Wow, it's a good one.
Thanks, man.
My favourite one of those stories that you ever... I'll never forget. You were at Eddie Large's memorial thing, right?
Yes, that's right. I became friends with Eddie Large. Are you talking about the Roy Walker? Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
No, the Roy Walker is my favourite thing, but we probably shouldn't go into that.
No, I'll tell you that. Me and Catherine went to Eddie Large's memorial in Blackpool, and it was an unveiling of a portrait. And Sid Little got up and gave a little speech, and then Tommy Cannon got up and gave a little speech all about Eddie, and then Roy Walker gets up and talks about a film his daughter's starring in. Anyway, we are then in like the bar afterwards, right? And I don't know how to say. So I had said hello to Tommy Cannon and Sid Little. So I'm talking to Linda Lusardi. And there's a knock on the window, and we turn round, and it's Kevin Keegan waving at us.
Because when you told me that, because you told me that day, like you just texted me and said, I was just chatting to Linda Lusardi, and someone knocked on the window, it was Kevin Keegan. And my answer was, what, the Kevin Keegan? But imagine if the answer to that was no, just another bloke, you just had the same name.
Yeah, he owns the off license on the corner.
Kevin Keegan.
And I just thought, this is it. It's all downhill from here.
That's incredible. Did Kevin come in, or he just knocked?
He'd been in. He was leaving, and he was telling us that he
was
leaving.
invited, and he was fuming that he's knocking in, asking him to open the door because they wouldn't let him in.
What were you chatting with Linda Lusardi about?
Oh, we were talking about how she was saying I should be back on the radio. Maybe I was on the radio.
All right, Linda, I'll jump back on the radio.
She was saying I should be back on the radio, and she and her husband, who's also her manager, and he played a gay hairdresser in Brookside. I can't remember his name. She was on some shitty radio station. She said, "Oh, we should get you on it. Here's my number. I've got a number in my phone, 69. It's a joke, and it's not a good one." She said, "Here's my number. Text me, and we'll get you on this radio station." Never happened.
Jack FM? Was it Jack FM?
I wonder if I've still got a number. It was not Jack FM. Should we call Linda Lusardi?
That would be quite the power move. Do it.
Oh, no. Do you know what? I haven't got Linda Lusardi's phone number. I've got her husband Sam's phone number.
We'll ring him up and ask him what he's been fucking playing.
Yeah. Or ring him and say, "Is Linda available?" And
what video game?
And then some of us went to Sid Little's pub where he cooked me burgers. And he got up and he sang on the karaoke without reading the words, Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire." He sang it all. I swear to God, word perfect without reading the screen. I'll send you the video. I've got video of it. I'll send you the video.
I've seen it.
It's good, isn't it?
I've seen it. That is a good. That sounds like a fun
Matt,
time.
how did you do that? You've just filled 10 minutes by doing that. How did you do that?
Fucking hell,
that's
Matt.
how good I am.
He's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's
He
just
is
seamless,
good.
isn't it?
What a thrill.
Emmett has messaged, all this tattoo talk got me thinking. I was once at a work thing and saw a guy with a massive forearm tattoo that looked like a military crest. We got talking and I asked him what it was. He then lost the plot, explaining to me quite aggressively how it was a halo tattoo and how he used to be in the paramilitaries. At this stage, I was scared and removed myself from the situation with a fake phone call. Have you ever had such a wrong call that you've had to do something similar? Much love from
how's
Emmett.
that wrong call? So what's
Just
Halo
talking to a
and the-
nut job.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
what's
wrong
that?
call was like, it thought it'd be a quite
In your
sensible
professional
conversation.
opinion, Ian?
Huh?
Nut job? Is that your
If, as a
professional
trained psychotherapist, yeah, absolutely bonkers. Wacko.
What's Halo tattoo got to do with being in the paramilitaries? What is? Am I missing something?
Well, I mean, Emmett thought it was a military crest, but it was just Halo related. I think that's the issue there.
Right.
But who's
okay.
actually done the fake phone call thing? And I mean, like, sure, that's not believable.
No, I can't do that. Have you, Ian? When have you?
Yeah,
done a
I did
fake
it
phone
years and years ago when it was me and Mackenzie, and we were writing an Edinburgh show with
That's
some
Mackenzie
people.
Crook, by the way, everyone. Star
the
of the
guy.
Office.
Other and
people
we
love
were
him.
writing an Edinburgh show with someone, and it was really fucking boring. And so I did the thing of I made my phone ring and went, oh, you're kidding, really? How bad is it? All right, we've got to go. I'm really sorry. The flat is flooding, and we left.
You actually use the flat is flooding.
Yes, I actually used the flat is flooding. So I have done the fake phone call.
See, what would happen for me is that I'd pick up the phone and go, "Hello, yes, well, I see, the flat." Oh, hold on, sorry, no, sorry, hold on one sec. That's exactly what would happen if I ever tried that. I wouldn't be able to get away with it.
Has anyone ever done that thing where you have such low self-esteem that you're scared to
Yes.
walk into places, so you pretend you're on your phone as you're going in,
No, I don't do it.
or when
going
you're
in.
walking past?
I've
the
done
hard
something,
kids?
yeah. No, because if they see my phone, then I'll be knocked out.
Okay.
Although everyone's got a phone, so it doesn't really make a
You're
difference
good
these days, does it?
I do that. I do it now. I walk into places and I go, "Hey, whereabouts are you there? Oh no, you're outside. Okay, I'm coming out."
No, I do something similar, Ian, but like rather now, I just knock out the hardest man in there, just so they know, his boss.
It's kind of fun.
Well,
So
prison
I feel a bit better about myself now. So then I leave quickly.
You don't like the tattoo thing, do you, Ian?
the tattoo bet.
The tattoo bet.
I think it's shameful. Honestly, stuff like that makes my. I think everyone involved in this, apart from Dave, is better than this, and it just.
We're not.
It feels. Oh, it feels horrible, and I feel so sorry for. Matt has had a tumultuous 12 months, right? And he clearly doesn't want to get this fucking tattoo. He's been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but he has to do it because of some bro's law, and it just it saddens me. It saddens me.
Bros Law, another great episode title. Yeah, it's going to be really weird when it's real, when we're like in that place.
It's
and we
forever.
see the design and everything.
It's forever.
Well, let's get a cover up. But yeah, you're right. It is. I mean, I can't not do it now. Like it's like I'll.
Yes, you fucking can. Yes, you fucking can.
No,
you
'cause
don't
people
have to
forever
do
say,
it.
All that. I was 18 months of like content, whatever, for us not to say. Actually, no, we're not doing it.
You can,
All
but you
that
can do
lead
it.
up
You're a
for
human
nothing.
being. You don't have to scar your body.
It'd be a pretty
Yes, he
sad end,
does.
though, wouldn't it?
Are you? What's the aspect you don't like, Ian? Is it the Wookiee? Is it the scarring? Or is it the mat? I'm trying to work out what the.
It's the whole thing of I don't like those kind of bets, right? But that's my personal preference. You guys, but it's such a permanent thing to do. It just, I don't know, maybe I'm older than you guys. I've lived, I've seen things.
No,
I've done some terrible things as a human
I'm fucking
being.
with you. I cannot.
Have you got a
believe
Wookiee
we're
on
here.
your arse as well, Ian? Or
I've got a Wookiee in my arse.
wow.
which-
Okay.
Hey.
but I'm not a massive fan of tattoos, and I know you guys are into your body art and stuff, and that is great. It's not my scene. It just feels that thing of we're going to argue over something silly, and then I'm going to permanently scar myself when I lose.
This is what James. You're laughing now, but well, actually, I think it would be easier if James had lost. I genuinely think that because I genuinely. Like, James would not care. He would not care. It'd be like, well, I never have to see it, and no one's.
Well, why do you get one as well, then, James?
Out regularly.
We'll both get one.
Well, because he doesn't have to.
I know we don't. No. I will mention the chat once. Someone has put, "Don't fold to the peer pressure, Matt. Do it."
Yeah, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically by the time this episode comes out, it'll be this month.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes. Alexander the Peasant. Hi, boys. Love the show very much. As a professional musician and a professional artist, I have the privilege of skirting poverty with not one but two economically poisonous skill sets. Now, as the world slips ever closer to neo-feudalism and we tumble back into peasantry, I'm finding my relationship to games changing. Games like Kingdom Come Deliverance are becoming hard for me to play because I can too keenly emphasize with that feeling of powerlessness. There you go. That comes from being on the bottom rung of society, and I struggle more and more to buy into the fiction that we can loot and power fantasy our way out of it. Am I alone in this feeling, or are there any games for you guys that touch a nerve and hit a bit too close to home? Hugs and kisses from Alex.
So the preference is that you start as a rich guy. Is that the opposite of that?
I don't think so. I think it's just really thinking about what you're choosing to play and the fact that it's if it is too close to home, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's hardly. It feels like less of a power fantasy if it brings back memories or makes you look at life and the struggles therein.
And also
so
because in life there isn't you can't do these things. Like it's not you can't. I mean, you can't loot and power your fantasy your way out of stuff, can you? So it's sort of you could, but a bit.
You can definitely loot. It's just the second part, which is going to be an issue, isn't it? Yeah, I think
there's definitely a thing to be said that you need to be in the mood for a game, and there are loads of times where, look at Atomfall. There would be a time in my life where I'd boot that up and go, do you know what? I'm going to get into this. I can't bloody wait. But I think because I'm still half thinking about Kingdom Come, I'm like, I could be playing that instead. And that's like a real basic way of looking at that. But I've had times where I've had a really, really shit day at work and things at home are not going too well, or something's happened and we're dealing with that. And then I sit down and I'm like, I'm just going to play. I've got all these games and I'm into them or whatever, but I'm just going to play Power Wash Sim because I don't have to think or get wrapped up in a world that may not be all fluffy and nice and make me feel better. Power Wash Simulator always makes me feel better, so I just put that on when I'm in that sort of state. That's how I get over that stuff. But it doesn't mean that I will never get round to playing that game. It just means that I need to be in the mood for it. And I think we speak about that a lot on this pod. And that's the good thing about doing this podcast, is that we're not a big publication or big website that has to review stuff because that's what we do. We tend to just play the games we want to play, and there are times where we get swept up with the new releases or whatever, but for the most part it's stuff that we want to play, and yeah, I appreciate that, being able to do that when we do this thing, because I don't think I could face this week if I had to play 20 hours of Atomfall. I don't think I could do it. It'd be so depressing.
See, I get this with TV. And there's a lot of there's TV shows and stuff that I find particularly that I can't watch or don't really want to watch at the moment, because they touch a nerve at the moment. But I've not really had this with games. I don't think, at least not
really.
Recently.
You've not had that. You've not sat down and gone, no, the tone of this is just too much for me right now.
Not recently, no. But mostly with TV, I get it a lot with that.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't watching Adolescence, are they? Because they feel it's too upsetting and too real, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think it's less about the themes of the game. Like this question asks is more about, am I prepared to have a big mental load on this game in an evening if I've had a hard day and I just want something a little bit easier. Ryan, I can never pronounce. How do you pronounce Ryan's surname?
Zhao.
Ryan Zhao. In the old days, devs used to add a heavy layer of fog to 3D worlds in order to increase the frame rate. Now you can increase your frame rate by turning fog off. What other things did video games used to be able to do handily that they now seem to struggle with?
Easy. Multiplayer on the same system. It's a fucking nightmare now. Even Split Fiction does this and it winds me up. Are you playing on Xbox, Ian?
Yes.
So it's pretty straightforward for you because yourself and Kim, you both have your own Xbox profiles, so it's fine.
Both have our own profiles. Kim owns the game. I got the demo.
Yeah, so Charlie hasn't. So when he logs in, he has to. It says, which profile do you want to use? And it's like, just let him be. And for it to just work on the same thing, he has to go to me and then go to add a guest, and then which he does now because he's done so many times. We've been playing that It Takes Two or whatever. But in the old days, it would be like your player one, your player two.
Is he talking about playing on the same screen? On the same
Saying
system?
on the same screen.
Yeah,
you still need to log into a profile.
Oh, yeah.
And
He doesn't
even
have
if
his own
that's a
profile
guest
then?
profile, whatever.
It's a bit tight.
Charlie hasn't. No, Harry has.
Right.
But yeah, Charlie's not got his own Xbox profile. So it's like, oh, for Christ's sake! So we got to go through all that nonsense. And it's even worse for. I don't know what's going on with FIFA, but it is the worst. Trying to play. If you're playing on the same system with different profiles or even the same profiles or whatever, the amount of times you change the controls on one profile, but it just changes them on both of them. And I can't wrap my head around making it work. It makes playing FIFA almost impossible on the same system. Like, you just give up. It's too confusing. Old games used to do that without a hitch. You'd plug in your controller, you'd set up your controls, that's it. You were away. Fine. Modern consoles just do not handle profile stuff on the same system anywhere near as well as it. Well, because there was no profiles back then, and that was the difference. It was just way more simple. Yeah, fuck that. I hate what they've done with that stuff at the moment. It's just really, really infuriating.
I don't think we get a better answer than that, frankly.
No, that is.
I mean, that can't nail. That sums it up. I mean, like when I debated it because I'm rubbish, but yeah, when we're playing FIFA in the office, it was like that was a constant source of issues, like the controls and the profiles, and yeah, what a nightmare.
Yeah, do you remember you used to be able to play like 4-on-4 really easily on you just on the consoles playing FIFA?
Yeah. Just one profile, just move the
7-on-1
pads.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's so frustrating. But there you go.
I mean, that's got to be like with FIFA. Is that because they want everyone to set up profiles because they want all the data, don't they? Presumably, you know, like
Yeah,
from
I mean,
all those
they'll
people.
want you to sign up to EA,
Yeah.
you know, whatever that shit is to like. Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. At least just let us put guests in there and let us have individual control setups. It just make it easier for everyone. Like, I don't understand it. Because no one's got, like, if the option is, oh, you either have the same controls or you can set up your own profile, then log into EA servers through that I'm not going to do it because we'll just play something else instead. Do you know what I mean? And we're not going to sit there and do that. Yeah, it's fucking nonsense. Anyway, little rant.
SpaghettiOs has asked, how often do you get a takeaway and what's your go-to takeaway food of choice?
Oh, good question. Ian?
I get them too often because I can't really afford them. And then I always forget that Domino's tastes shit. And I'll get the idea of going, let's get a Domino's. And it comes, and every time it's disappointing.
I don't mind Domino's because it's more consistent than choosing other different
Consistently shit.
But I don't think they're shit, but maybe I have poor palate. I don't know.
Ian, which pizza are you getting from Domino's?
Vegorama or Veggie Supreme Deluxe, whatever they call
I'll go
it these days.
cheeseburger.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
You need the-
the
you
state
need-
of Uranus.
Well, with the things on the end, with each bit in the crust.
What
Is
do
it
you mean,
one
the
of those
things?
ones?
Oh, well, no.
They
You
did
can
the
get
ones
stuffed
where it was
crust.
little hamburgers in the
No. It's just got like, it's got gherkin, it's got burger sauce, it's got a bit of meat on there.
It looked really horrible.
You need to get the Meteor. That's the
Yeah.
That's the choice.
But I'm a bit. Listen, I'm a big fan of all the foods of all of the different nations. I love a succulent Chinese meal. Who doesn't? I'm a sucker for fucking. I'm swearing way too much. I'm swearing because I'm hanging out with you guys. And I
Well,
want
that's because Sean isn't here. You're taking Sean's place. That's why. It's
Way we
fine.
do it. Too
if
much
I
effing.
can't drive past a McDonald's drive-through without going through it. I cannot drive past it.
Well, that's funny because
James and Sean can.
about how James and Sean refused to go to the drive-through.
Why is that?
I just don't like drive-through. I just don't like it.
What the convenience of it?
No, it's not that. It's just I said last week I freeze up as soon as I get to the little window.
I don't.
I freeze up.
I get way too chatty. I embarrass my kids. I'll stop and do stuff and go. All of their YouTubers do pranks on these drive-through things. So when I do it, the kids are like, oh, stop doing it. So I'll just go up and go, yeah, McDonald's. Yeah, do you do McDonald's? Sorry?
Oh, I bet they love that.
I bet they love it. Do you do McDonald's? What do you mean? And then when the Grimace shakes came out, you remember?
Yeah.
Do you know about and do you know the legend that kids were dying? You drink a Grimace shake and then you get murdered. So we went and ordered a Grimace shake, and I said, "Have any kids died?" And she went, "What?" Which actually, now I've said it out loud, is actually a weird thing to say. That's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah,
through the
at
intercom.
least place your order first, then do that. Like
Holy
that's not your
shit.
opening gambit, is it?
That's an awful. I said to a stranger through an intercom, "Have any kids died yet?" Wow. Okay. Yeah. I need to rethink my life choices.
We've just we've moved to a place that has like 3 of the highest quality takeaway places, literally just round the corner from here, and it's dangerous, man. It's fucking dangerous. Also, we didn't have a kitchen for like 2 months, so it was like constant. The fish and chip shop does what is it, like chicken as well, and I'm like, fucking, that is having like a chicken bucket or whatever, but with fish and chip shop chips. That's fucking dangerous. That is dangerous.
It was you, Dave, wasn't it? Every time we have a drive through with the boys, I tell them the story about the night that you wanted a drive through, but you didn't have a car. Was that
That's
you?
right. That's me and Blake, yeah.
And they wouldn't serve you, so you got a taxi. You got a
We got a
taxi.
taxi to take us through, yeah. Flagged down a taxi and he just took us through. It was like, yeah. I think
And
it was
did
like
you
3
buy the
quid or
driver
something.
at McDonald's as well?
No, we didn't. But he did. Did we offer? We must have offered if
think
we
you
wanted
offered.
something. I can't remember. God, that was years ago. That was on the Old Kent Road. We still go to that McDonald's every now and then.
But they wouldn't serve you because you were on foot, and they said
Yeah, they
you've got to
said
be in a
health and
car.
safety, and it was like, what do you mean? There's no cars about? Can you just? We wanted to drive up with our hands in front of ourselves, like just go hello. One behind go.
Why did you out the window?
Can I just go back and say very quickly about the Grimace shakes? Because there was a TikTok like myth going around that
Yeah, the
if you
TikTok
drank,
trend. Yeah.
if you drank a Grimace shake, you would be murdered. So I wasn't just going and saying something incredibly awful, outrageous just for the sake of it. I have done that, but that wasn't that. It was reference to the legend of the Grimace shake and the mysterious deaths
But the
attributed
kids,
to it.
that spreads because like the boys were going on and on about having a Grimace shake.
Yeah, so was Elodie. Yeah, but I mean, the videos, some of them are so creative, like the ones that are blowing up with all like the various, like kids
what happens to you
disappearing
when
and
you
stuff.
drink
Yeah,
it,
it's really, really good. Yeah.
All right.
It's sad about John Pork anyway. I don't know if you guys are aware of John Pork.
John
died.
Denton keeps sending me photos
Yeah,
of John Pork.
died. They think it's
I
Tim
don't-
Cheese, but now it's turning out maybe it wasn't. Anyway, I don't want to ruin the mood at the end of the pod, but I just would like to dedicate today's show to John Pork. Rip.
Okay. Last question, Matt.
Yes, it's from Carl. Hello, Team TCGS. One of the contestants on Mastermind this evening chose The Legend of Zelda as his specialist subject. If you each had to choose a game or game series as a Mastermind subject, what would it be? Also, if you can find the episode in iPlayer, how many of those Zelda questions from the episode can Team TCGS answer correctly? Maybe we'll find out for
That's
next
a
week.
bonus show.
Has
Yeah,
anyone?
that's
Can
a
I just
bonus
ask? Has anyone been on this show on one Mastermind?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on it. Yeah, I was on it.
Yeah, I won Children's Mastermind. Did you, Ian? Well done. What was your special subject?
It was the pop group The Monkees.
The Monkeys. Okay, right.
Who are you
Easy,
up
innit? Bit
against?
easy, that one.
I was up against the Nolan. I was up against Radio Thief. What's the name of that Radio Thief?
Radio Thief.
He steals everyone else's ideas and does Scott Mills.
right,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, right. Well,
and-
let's.
Now doing a
Bleep that,
BBC Two
man.
breakfast, isn't he? Or,
and Jimmy McGovern. That's who I was up against, and I
Who's
destroyed
Jimmy
them.
McGovern?
He wrote. Did he write Cracker?
yeah.
Who's Jimmy? Right, okay, no, yeah, he did write Cracker.
Yeah, he's a famous
Moving
writer.
on, and Accused. Okay.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay. Oh, we shouldn't mention.
No,
that.
no, that was a show that he.
He did another
yeah.
show called Q. Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought,
Nothing else.
I thought it was a wrong one. Okay, good. He isn't.
What's it like? Is it really? You know how Mastermind's like full of tension, or is it just completely destroyed when you're on it?
No, you
'Cause
fucking
it's a-
shit yourself because they make you
Really?
walk over to the chair and you sit down and you get a spotlight and it goes dum 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 dum.
Yeah, but
you
they don't
shit
put-
yourself.
Do they play that over the speakers then when you?
They
they
play
don't
it-
have that.
They play it over the speakers. Yeah, you can hear it on the
Do you
speakers.
think they were putting it in post, David?
Yeah. And
Like-
they're just looking around like,
They'd also dubbed the questions on afterwards.
It was very similar. When I was on Raise the Roof, the TV show,
Oh, okay.
I got freaked out because they played the audience clapping over the speakers, and I was like, well, where are they?
Oh.
They're not here. No. All they had was a mannequin at the back, and that is ingrained into my brain. That's scared the shit out of me. It was horrible. It was a mannequin looking at us the whole time and fake clapping. It's the day that I lost my love for television, Ian. That was the day.
Weren't you like 5?
Yep.
I've hijacked the question a little bit. So the question was, what game would you do Mastermind on?
Mine would have to be. I think it'd have to be Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh.
I think it might have to be Banjo-Kazooie.
It has to be. You've completed it 25 times.
25 times, yeah.
Allegedly. So you should definitely do that. Yeah.
What would yours be on then, Matt?
Obviously.
Huh?
Sega Rally?
What would yours be on?
Yeah, Sega Rally. Yeah.
But okay, right, so what questions? Name all the cars in Sega Rally. What are the
There's only like 2 of them,
cars
isn't
there?
There's actually 3: Lancia Delta, Celica, and the Stratus.
Oh my god, the Stratus was the best though, right?
Yeah.
Like that was when you unlocked that on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, that was rock
fair
hard.
enough.
I was rock hard too.
James.
I mean, it's the boring answer. It's the Mario series. I'd have to go for that.
That's a big one though. With like, was it how many? Was that 40 years? Or?
Yeah, I think I could do that. I mean, because they'd also definitely guaranteed ask that question about Super Mario Brothers 2. What was that originally called in Japan? And it'd be, it'd be easy.
What's the answer?
Okay, don't want to give us the answer.
It's Doki Doki Panic. Yeah.
Yeah, Doki Panic.
Yeah.
Ian, would you have a game as a specialist subject?
Surely it's Super Monkey's Ball.
Chucky Egg. I'd go Chucky Egg.
Chucky Egg. You know that game that well.
Yeah, what's the name of the guy that's running
Chucky.
around? Nope.
Egg.
It's
Eggman.
Henhouse Harry. Boom. That's a point straight away. I've got a point.
Okay, is that it for the questions?
Yes, it is. I was
did
waiting for
it as
Sean to
well.
answer there, but it turns out Sean's not here today.
Sean Rip. Happy birthday. The opposite. Sorry, the opposite one. So,
Yeah. Well, he wasn't born today. It
It's
wasn't born
time for the
yesterday
socials,
either.
Matt.
Yes.
Matt, it's time for the social.
Oh,
We're
I'll be
over
yours.
2 hours now. It's fine.
It says the people filling like twats. I've been saying silent for ages.
There's the title.
Yeah.
Okay, we're so Sean isn't here, but I'm fairly sure he said he will be doing some kind of Twitch stuff for this Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, which is on Wednesday. Let's say we go live at 10 to 2 on Wednesday. It's definitely Sean. It might be me. Unfortunately, Dave and James won't be here, but we will be doing a Nintendo Switch 2 reveal talks over of some sort Wednesday on Twitch. I mean, again, Sean's
So
not here,
excited, man! I cannot wait to see what they announce to go with it. It's going to be so disappointing, and that's why I love Nintendo.
That's Wednesday at 10 to 2. I'm fairly sure Sean will be doing his regular Monster Hunter Wild stream Thursday for 9. And James, me and you back on Split Fiction on Friday?
Yeah. Are you available this week?
I'm available, yeah. I've booked it out on my calendar. So, yeah, and they're on twitch.tv/TCGSCO. Go to TCGS. .tv. What the fuck am I doing? Go to twitch.tv, search us in the app or on the website. If you have Amazon Prime and Twitch Prime, connect your accounts. You get something called Twitch Prime Gaming and give us 1 free sub because you have a free sub to give to whoever channel you want. So why don't you go to our channel, maybe when streaming this week, and give it to us. And all the other things are actually on tcgs.co. So that's links to our Discord, our Blue Sky accounts, our Patreon, our store, all the other podcasts. It's all on there, tcgs.co.
Struggled through that, Matt Murray. Ian, where would you like to send our listeners? I'm pretty sure they all know where they can find you, but
just Google. My joy is just hanging out with you guys, and people know me or people don't know me. It's all good. It's
been lovely having you on again, as always. It's always good having you on. Please
I'm sorry
come
for
back.
swearing so much. I do it because I want to look cool in front of you cool youngsters.
To be fair, we all know that Sean swears the most out of all of us, so you've replaced the correct person.
So potty mouth. I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure.
We love you too. And we will catch you next week for for our 9th birthday. Remember, it's a listeners interaction special. Please get your messages in. It's our 9th birthday. What's the matter? What
oh my God, you're gonna get so much abuse. It's gonna be fun.
From you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for living it. We'll catch you next
Cruel
week.
man.
Goodbye. Such a cold-hearted man.
No, that's not what he said. He said such cruel man.
Cool, man. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.